Chapter 1702. Bloodline Crystal. Seeing that Qin Yun was interested in learning more about it, Elder Yuan felt very jealous and secretly clenched his fists. Because regardless of whether Qin Yun had the bloodline of the Qin Imperial clan or not, the Qin Imperial clan would still accept him. After all, he was someone who grasped the Sun Soul, and he also grasped a very high level of inscription technique. The Dark Royal clan is also secretly jealous of this matter. The reason why they attacked the Divine Inscription Mountain before was because they did not wish for the Sun Soul to fall into the hands of the Imperial clan. But now, Qin Yun is going to become a member of the Imperial clan. Elder Yuan said, "There's no need to confirm. No matter what, you are a member of the Qin Imperial clan. Who asked you to be surnamed Qin?" Everyone could hear the sourness in Elder Yuan's voice. The old granny, Elder Xiao, said with a smile, "Sect Master Qin, if you really become a member of the Qin Imperial clan, you will be able to enjoy very good treatment in the Imperial clan Divine Palace in the future." Old Qi also laughed. "As long as you have the bloodline of our Imperial clan, you will be a member of the Imperial clan. You have the Sun Soul. We will not think of snatching it away. To be able to obtain the Sun Soul, you must have obtained a recognition. It will not be easy to snatch it away. We know this." Although Old Qi's words were rather straightforward, Qin Yun felt very relieved when he heard them. "Elder Qi, Elder Xiao, it seems like you're already certain that he is a member of the Imperial clan." Elder Yuan's face was filled with a hypocritical smile as he said, "Since that's the case, then there's no need to test the bloodline of the Imperial clan. Just directly announce that he is a disciple of our Imperial clan." Qin Yun said to Elder Qin, "Where do we test the bloodline?" Elder Qin took out a crystal and said, "This is the bloodline crystal of our Qin Imperial clan. If you drip blood on this crystal, if you do not have the bloodline of the Imperial clan in your body, the blood will pass through the crystal and land on the ground. If you have the bloodline of the Imperial clan in your body, then your blood will flow in the crystal." Elder Xiao added, "Even if the bloodline has been passed down for many years and has become very thin, your blood can still stay in the crystal." Elder Qi said, "If the bloodline is very pure, then the crystal's bloodlight is very strong. If the bloodline isn't pure enough, when the blood enters the bloodline crystal, it will be like a drop of water falling into a basin. The crystal will be unable to emit light, but as long as the blood can be preserved in the bloodline crystal, it means that you have the bloodline of an emperor clan." Qin Yun said, "I am willing to try." Princess Yi suddenly said, "Leader Qin, if you join the emperor clan, our contract is still valid. During the agreed time, you're not allowed to attack our Xieyang." She was also worried that after Qin Yun became a Monarch race disciple, he would be arranged by the Monarch races to fight against the Dark Royal race's Xieyang. "We've already signed the contract. I can't attack Xieyang even if I want to. Don't worry." Qin Yun smiled and took out a saber. He dripped a drop of blood, and what was surprising was that the drop of blood actually carried a faint golden glow. "A very strong sage physique," Elder Qin exclaimed. Everyone was moved and exclaimed in admiration when they saw the blood of this grade. There were many powerful immortal emperors present, but their sacred bodies were not as strong as Qin Yun's. "How did you cultivate it?" Princess Anya was also surprised. "He's cultivating with a woman. The reason why I have such a strong sage physique is because of the help of many women," Qin Yun said with a mischievous smile. "Pervert." Princess Yi cursed. Everyone also secretly despised Qin Yun. He is really a sex fiend like the rumors say. What Qin Yun said is the truth. The Sun and Moon Heart Sutra played a huge role in his cultivation. It is also true that many women helped him cultivate it. Everyone is now staring at the bloodline crystal. Qin Yun's blood is red, but it is flickering with golden light. After it entered the bloodline crystal, it suddenly dissipated. What is shocking is that the bloodline crystal turned black. Qin Yun's blood can be preserved inside the bloodline crystal, but it did not emit blood light. Instead, it turned the crystal pure black. The big shots of the Emperor clan are all dumbfounded. Their eyes are filled with shock. The bloodline crystal of the Emperor clan is black. Could it be that this guy is... Princess Yi is very shocked. She shouted in fear. This bastard, what a tragedy. What? What does this mean? Qin Yun hastily asked. Nothing. Sect Master Qin, you are a disciple of our Qin Imperial clan. This is for sure. Elder Qin said with smile, but his smile is very forced. He walked over, patted Qin Yun's shoulder and said, I am an elder of the Qin Imperial clan. In the Qin Imperial clan, the clan king is the most powerful, but normally he does not manage the clan affairs. I have the authority to accept you. On behalf of the Qin Imperial clan, I warmly welcome you to join the Qin Imperial clan. First tell me, what does the black bloodline crystal represent? Qin Yun is very curious and asked. Princess Yi said with sneer. Qin Yun, it is better if you don't know. I won't say it, lest you say I am cruel. This is your fate decided by the heavens. Accept your fate. Elder Yuan wanted to speak, but he saw Elder Qin's expression suddenly become gloomy and cold, so he did not continue speaking. He only snorted and said, I already said, don't test his bloodline. Directly let him join the Qin Imperial clan. If you don't listen to the elders, you will suffer. Sect Master Qin, do you believe that fate is decided? Elder Qin's expression is very serious as he asked. Of course I don't. My fate has always been grasped in my own hands. Qin Yun said with calm smile. That's right. If you accepted your fate, you would not have today's achievements. For a person like you who does not accept fate, the heavens will not decide your fate. Elder Qin chuckled and said, Qin Yun also feels this way. After all, he is an enemy of the heavenly Tao. He does not believe in heresy. He suddenly thought of Tian Daozi. Tian Daozi brought Shimen Dazhuang here, but he only saw Shimen Taidan. He did not see Shimen Dazhuang and Tian Daozi, that swindler. Elder Qin patted Qin Yun's shoulder and said with smile, You only need to know that you have the Qin Imperial clan's bloodline in your body. Moreover, it is very pure. Don't know anything else for now. I am worried that it will affect your mood. Although Qin Yun is very curious, he feels that this Elder Qin is indeed very good. He clearly knows that the black bloodline crystal is a very bad result, yet he is willing to accept him. Clearly, he thinks very highly of him. Now, he can also feel Elder Qin's sincerity. He has decided to enter the Qin Imperial clan and become a member of the Qin Imperial clan. I am willing to become a member of the Qin Imperial clan. Qin Yun also agreed. Elder Qin is very happy. He nodded and said, Welcome, welcome. Xiao Hua suddenly said, Elder Xiao, I am Xiao Hua from the inscription aristocratic family Xiao family. Do I have Xiao family's bloodline in my body? Xiao Hua is our inscription gate's inner cabinet great elder and great protector. Inscription gate's chief great venerable. Divine Mountain's mountain guardian king. Inscription gate's vice sect master. Inscription gate's vice grand elder. Qin Yin promptly said, Sect master, you left out one. I'm also the outer sect's great elder and technique imparting elder. Xiao Hua added with smile. Right. Qin Yin said with smile. Xiao Hua indeed has so many titles. This is Xiao Yuamei's big sister. When she has nothing to do, she would randomly make up some awesome sounding titles to reward Xiao Hua. Black Mouse by Zay and the others. However, it is completely useless because the inscription gate only has a few people. Qin Yun also doesn't remember how many awesome sounding titles Xiao Yuanmei gave to the inscription gate people. So powerful. After Elder Xiao heard this, he said excitedly, Then let's test it out. If you really have the bloodline of the Xiao Imperial clan, then you will also receive very high treatment in the Imperial clan. Xiao Hua smiled in satisfaction. He is secretly grateful to Xiao Yuanmei, this big sister, for giving him so many awesome titles. Now, it seems that they're indeed very useful. After the test, the bloodline crystal in Elder Xiao's hand emitted a slightly stronger bloodlight. Elder Xiao is rather surprised and said excitedly, This bloodline is quite pure. It's pretty good. What does the purity of this bloodline have to do with it? Qin Yun asked curiously. What does it have to do with? It's hard to say. In our Imperial clan, There are many disciples whose purity is not as good as Xiao Hua's. Elder Qin shook his head and said, "This is a very illusory thing." So it's like that. Qin Yun planned to pull Xiao Yuelon and her sister, as well as Xiao Xianqin, to test it. There is also Qi Meiyan and Yuan Yinying. Of course, there are too many people now. He did not want Xiao Yuelon and Xiao Yuanmei to be exposed because they are from the Guanghan Palace. Princess Anya said, "Friends from the imperial clan, can we talk about the truce now?" "All right, let's talk here. Anyway, it will be very fast." Elder Xiao said, "If you insist on the Earth Province and the Xian Province, then there's nothing to talk about." Old Qi chuckled and said, "Everyone take a step back. We don't need Princess Anya to pledge to the imperial clan." A red-haired old man from the dark royal race said, "The pledge is necessary. Only in this way can everyone be at ease." "But our imperial clan emperor doesn't have an imperial prince in the immortal desolate." Elder Xiao said, "We don't need your imperial prince. You 4 elders, just send a pure bloodline disciple to our dark royal race." Princess Anya said. The 4 elders also secretly discussed with voice transmission. After a while, they all nodded in agreement. Elder Qin said, "We have already discussed the matter of the pledge. What about the division of the immortal desolate territory?" The dark royal race elder said, "We want the Xian province. You want the heaven province. And the earth province belongs to everyone in the immortal desolate. None of US can control the earth province. Because Xie Yang was killed, the dark royal race can only take a step back. Letting the earth province become a chaotic buffer zone is something that everyone can accept." "All right, it's settled." After discussing with Elder Qin and the others, they also agreed. Qin Yun said, "Elder Xiao and I will first return to the divine inscription mountain to take care of some matters. We will come back again." Elder Qin nodded his head. Someone with Princess Anya's status actually volunteered to be a hostage in the Imperial Clan Divine Palace. This clearly shows that she has some kind of purpose. In other words, there is something inside the Imperial Clan Divine Palace that is worth Princess Anya taking the risk. Qin Yun is also very interested in the Imperial Clan Divine Palace. He wants to know what purpose Princess Anya has in sneaking into the Imperial Clan Divine Palace. Chapter 1703. Solar Storm Qin Yun wanted to join the Imperial race and enter the Imperial race Divine Palace because he wanted to find that dragon. For that dragon to be able to be in the Imperial clan, it must have also joined the Imperial clan, and it had quite a good position. He wanted to know just how strong the dragon was. After all, it had existed for many years. Qin Yun and Xiao Hua returned to the Divine Inscription Mountain and told Xiao Yuelon and the others about him possessing the Qin Imperial clan's bloodline. After Xiao Yuanmei finished listening, she said with a smile, "In that case, me, Sister Yinging, and I all have Imperial race bloodline." "Yes. Do you have any plans to enter the Imperial race Divine Palace?" Qin Yun asked. "Xiao Imperial race's elder is an old granny. She's pretty good." Xiao Huan nodded and said, "Elder Xiao will definitely give us good treatment." "All right. Let's also enter the Emperor Clan Shrine. However, I plan to go in a few days and secretly join," Xiao Yuelon said with a smile. The mountain god said, "Now that we can finally settle down, I'll take this opportunity to go to those holy lands and see if there's anything to eat." Qin Yun said to Magic Mirror Immortal Emperor, Xiao Ding, "The Magic Mirror's formation foundation is almost complete. I will leave it to you to adjust and operate it. We need to restore the Magic Mirror's operation as soon as possible." "All right, I'm the best at making adjustments." Immortal Emperor Demonic Mirror laughed. "That's great. I, Immortal Emperor Magic Mirror, have returned. As long as the Magic Mirror's formation base is adjusted, they can start selling Magic Mirrors again, and then the news of the entire Immortal Desolate can be transmitted in a timely manner." After settling the matters of the Inscription Gate, Qin Yun and Xiao Hua returned to the Imperial Clan Divine Palace, and the Divine Inscription Mountain is still near the Imperial Race Divine Palace. Xiao Yuelon and the other 2 have to wait a few days before heading to the Imperial Race Divine Palace. They don't want too many people to know. Zi Qingsheng and Shui Tianzi, on the other hand, were inside the 9 Yang divine soul with Mo. The two of them were also diligently cultivating inside. Qin Yun has many sacred Xian silver crystal fruits. They can help them break through very quickly during cultivation. After Qin Yun and Xiao Hua flew up to the platform of the Emperor Clan Divine Palace, the people of the Dark Royal family have already left. Only the masked Princess Anya remained. There must be a purpose for Princess Yi to enter the Divine Palace of the Emperor Clan. The 4 great elders of the Imperial Clan Divine Palace would definitely be able to think of this, but they still let her stay in the Imperial Clan Divine Palace, which meant that they would be on guard. Princess Yi, you are not completely free in the Divine Palace of the Emperor Clan. You cannot run around. In the Imperial Palace, there are many restricted areas that you can't go to. Elder Qin said with a smile. Of course I know. What could it be that you think I'll cause trouble in the Emperor Clan Divine Palace? You think too highly of me, don't you? I don't have that kind of strength. Princess Anya snorted softly. Very well. We will arrange for you to stay in a place with a good environment. Follow me. An old man filled with dragon chi said with a smile. The old man waved his hand. The Scarlet Sun Dragon Queen and the Dragon Emperor followed behind him and entered the spacious palace. Qin Yun whispered, Elder Qin, what status does a dragon have in the Imperial race's divine hall? Is there anyone with the surname Long among the Imperial clans? Elder Qin said, Of course. Half of the Dragon Emperor's body is dragon vein. The dragon race has an extremely high status in the Imperial Clan Divine Palace, but they are only responsible for the safety of the Imperial Clan Divine Palace. They don't care about managing miscellaneous matters. Xiao Hua nodded and said, It seems like the dragon race fights, similar to an army, right? More or less. Old Qi said with smile. Qin Yun asked, People like us who suddenly joined the Imperial Clan Divine Palace, will we be ostracized? Elder Yuan replied, As long as you don't bully people, it's fine. Our Imperial Clan Divine Palace mainly becomes stronger through competition. There will be things like being ostracized, but you're definitely not afraid of being ostracized, right? Everyone else dispersed and returned to the Imperial Clan Divine Palace. As for the 4 Grand Elders, they brought Xiao Hua and Qin Yun to a hall. In front of the hall, there was a small mountain placed on the altar. It was only a few meters tall, and it was unknown what it was. A necessary ceremony to recognize one's ancestors and return to the clan. Elder Yuan said, This mountain is called Emperor Mountain. It is the ancestral mountain that gave birth to the Imperial Clan. The ceremony is very simple. It is just a drop of blood on that very small Emperor Mountain. Then, Elder Yuan recited some words, saying something about recognizing one's ancestors and returning to the clan. He even burned a lot of things. It is a ceremony. After the ceremony, Qin Yun and Xiao Hua are members of the Imperial Clan. Qin Yun said, I have a few friends. They are surnamed Xiao, Qi, and Yuan. Can I pull them over to test their Imperial Clan bloodline? Of course you can. Elder Xiao immediately said, Call them over as soon as possible. Elder Yuan also said, The more the better. Our Imperial Clan welcomes the return of the Imperial Clan's disciples. Qin Yun is somewhat surprised. He heard that this Elder Yuan wanted to snatch his son's soul, but from the looks of it, it seems like it is not bad. Qin Yun still doesn't understand the internal situation of the Imperial Clan. However, he can tell that the Imperial Clan is lacking people. Xiao Yuan and the others had originally planned to come back after a period of time, but now that the Imperial Clan Divine Palace is lacking people, Qin Yun asked Xiao Hua to call them over. Not long after, Xiao Yuan, Xiao Yuanmei, and Xiao Yingying arrived. Yu Xiaoling is Xiao Yulan's fairy. She also came. After knowing that they are all surnamed Xiao, Elder Qi and Elder Yuan are somewhat dissatisfied. Didn't you say that there is someone surnamed Yuan? Elder Yuan said, Why are they all from the Xiao clan? And the one surnamed Qi? Elder Qi said with a smile, Brat, don't tease us. We sincerely welcome the disciples of the Imperial Clan. They're not in the Divine Inscription Mountain. Wait a few more days, Qin Yun said. He planned to let Qi Mei Yin and Yuan Yinning give it a try. Elder Xiao said with a happy smile. All right then, let's begin the test. Grandma Xiao, brother said that during the test, the bloodline crystal turned black. What is the reason? Will I also turn black? Xiao Yuanmei asked curiously. Little girl, don't think too much. No matter what the result is, I will accept you. Elder Xiao also likes Xiao Yuelan and the other two girls very much. Xiao Yuanmei dripped a drop of blood on the bloodline crystal. The bloodline crystal immediately flashed with a bloody light. The four elders were immediately dumbfounded, and then they cried out in alarm. This is a peerless bloodline. Elder Xiao is overjoyed and shocked. How is this possible? The imperial clan was no longer in the 9 desolate lands in the first era. After so many eras, how can they still maintain such a pure bloodline? Elder Qi and Elder Yuan are extremely jealous as they looked at Elder Xiao with envy. Qin Yun is secretly alarmed. Could it be related to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range? Or is it related to the immortal graveyard diagram? Xiao Yuanmei and Xiao Yuelan's birth mother had once obtained the immortal graveyard diagram and died because of it. The two sisters had come into contact with the immortal graveyard diagram, and later on, it was also in Xiao Yuelan's hands. The immortal graveyard diagram is very strange. Even now, Qin Yun is unable to see through the inscriptions hidden inside. He needs 4 complete immortal graveyard diagram to have a reaction. Qin Yun, Qi Meiyan, and Xiao Yuelan all have a portion of the immortal graveyard diagram in their hands, and then Xieqiru has a portion. After the 4 elders recovered from their shock, they suppressed the shock in their hearts and continued the test. Next was Xiao Yingying's test. Her bloodline level is about the same as Xiao Hua's. Although it is not as exaggerated as Xiao Yuanmei's, it is considered above average in the Xiao family, and this is also relatively normal. Then it was Xiao Yuelan's turn to take the test. After Xiao Yuelan dripped her blood on the bloodline crystal, the crystal suddenly turned black. It's another black bloodline crystal. When the 4 elders saw this, their expressions immediately turned grave. Strange, bloodline crystals turning black is very rare. Why did 2 of them appear all of a sudden? Elder Qi said with a frown. Yuelan is Qin Yun's wife. The 2 of them have already consummated their marriage. What does it have to do with this? Yu Xiaoling said. Xiao Yuelan secretly grabbed Yu Xiaoling's thigh and then rolled her eyes at her. It has nothing to do with this. Elder Xiao coughed twice and said, Yuelan, don't worry, it's nothing. Let nature take its course. Xiao Yuanmei asked, Grandmother, what are the benefits of pure bloodline? The higher the purity of the bloodline, the more energy one can absorb when cultivating in the Emperor Clan Divine Palace. The energy bestowed by the Emperor Mountain, Elder Xiao said. Elder Qi pulled Qin Yun and said with a smile, Brat, you promised to help me get a Qi clan disciple. Don't forget. And mine. Elder Yuan also walked over. Elder Yuan, you wanted to snatch a sun spirit before. Why are you so thick-skinned to ask him to recommend a disciple? Elder Qi curled his lips and said, I said it before. Sun spirit belongs to the Imperial clan. Qin Yun is now a disciple of the Imperial clan, so I don't need to snatch it anymore. Elder Yuan snorted. Elder Qi, there are so many Qi family members in the Inscription Aristocrat family. Your Qi Imperial clan should have recruited enough new members, right? Those bloodlines aren't too good. Those recommended by little brother Qin, their bloodlines must be pretty good. Elder Qi chuckled. They will be here in a few days. They are all women, and they are from the Guanghan Palace. Qin Yun said, All right, we welcome you at any time. Elder Qi said. Qin Yun was worried that when Qi Meiyan was tested, she would also use a black bloodline crystal. As for Yuan Yinying, he did not know if she had the bloodline of an imperial clan. Can I go with Xiao Yin? Xiao Yuelan walked to Qin Yun's side and asked, You are all rather special. It's better to be together. Elder Xiao nodded and said, Anyway, you are all in the Imperial Clan Divine Palace. Xiao Yuanmei originally wanted to follow Qin Yun, but after knowing that Elder Xiao had a lot of delicious food, she pulled Xiao Yingying along and wanted to go with Elder Xiao. Soon after, Xiao Yuelon and the other two also underwent the ceremony and officially became members of the imperial clan. Elder Qin said, "The great storm is coming. We need to absorb the disciples in the immortal desolate as soon as possible and return to the imperial clan divine palace." "What great storm?" Qin Yun asked. "Sunstorm. In short, when the sunstorm appears, many great changes will occur in the immortal desolate," Elder Qin said. "This is also the reason why we want to stop the war." Chapter 1704. Imperial Dragon List, Solar Storm. Is it very windy? Xiao Yuemei asked. "Yes, the sun eruption storm might blow down a lot of things," Elder Xiao said with a smile. "Yuemei, when the time comes, don't run around randomly. You will be blown away." Xiao Yuemei pulled Elder Xiao's hand and said with a smile, "Grandma, quickly take me to eat something good. I can't wait any longer." Elder Xiao chuckled and left with Xiao Yuemei, Xiao Yingying, and Xiao Hua. As for Qin Yun, Xiao Yuelon, and Yu Shaoling, they left with Elder Qin. The Emperor Clan Shrine was a huge palace built on a floating island. Inside the palace, there were many magnificent buildings, gardens, buildings, and courtyards. Within the Emperor Clan Divine Palace, one could sense an ancient feeling. After all, this was a palace that had existed for many years. It could be said that it had existed since the first great era of the Nine Wastelands. Under the heavenly crater, the Arch race's divine palace had endured countless years of attacks from the Dark Royal race, but it was still able to stand tall. It could be seen just how sturdy it was. The inscription Divine Mountain has already left. The mountain god wants to bring the inscription Divine Mountain around to see what he can devour. Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror is in the Divine Inscription Mountain. As long as he can repair the Devil Mirror's array foundation, he can immediately contact Qin Yun through the Devil Mirror. The Qin Imperial Clan. In a very large villa to the east of the Imperial Clan Sacred Hall. Yu Shaoling had a head of blonde hair and wore tight clothes. Her extremely fiery figure was clearly outlined, and her pair of blue eyes flickered with a seductive light. Xiao Yuelon also saw that the Sun Fairy is too eye-catching, so she asked Qin Yun to put her into the Nine Sun Divine Soul. Originally, Yu Shaoling was clamoring about not entering the Nine Yang Divine Spirit, but when she thought about Zi Qingsheng and Shui Tianzi, the two peerless beauties, she was very willing to enter. For this rogue elf, as long as there were beauties, she would be very happy to go. She was the same as Ling Yun. She liked beauties the most. These two rogue female elves were really similar. After she entered the Nine Yang Divine Spirit, she was very happy to see Mo, the High Priest of the Fairies. She really liked this cute little thing. Elder Qin brought Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon to a secluded garden in the villa. There were some flowers and trees planted in the garden. There was a unique wooden building. "This is where you will be staying. Go and rest first. You guys must be exhausted after dealing with that Xieyang," Elder Qin said with a smile. "Can we walk around?" Xiao Yuelon asked. "Don't walk around for now. If I don't come tomorrow, I'll arrange for someone to bring you around the Imperial Clan Divine Palace," Elder Qin said. "I still have urgent matters to attend to right now." Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon sent Elder Qin to the entrance of the small garden before returning to the small building. After Xiao Yuelon entered, she hugged Qin Yun and said with a smile, "Xiao Yun, it's really good to be with you." Qin Yun kissed her forehead and carried her to sit on a chair. Qin Yun tightly hugged the delicate beauty in his embrace and gently caressed her lily-white hands. He said in low voice, "Yuelon, when we tested the Imperial Clan bloodline, the bloodline crystal turned black. What do you think?" "I think this might be related to us having the immortal graveyard diagram," Xiao Yuelon said. "In a few days, when little Malian comes over to test it, we'll be sure. If Qi Malian also tested black bloodline crystal, it will prove that it is related to the immortal graveyard diagram." "Will Aunt Xiao also come?" Qin Yun asked. Anne has Xiao family bloodline. It should be very pure, but I don't know if Yining truly has Yuan family bloodline or not," Xiao Yuelon said with a smile. I always feel that the people from the borderlands are very pure. Emperor clan bloodline is very pure. That is still in the Imperial clan Divine Palace. I really wanted to test it. Qin Yun said with smile. Xian Rujing and Qin Long are both in the Imperial clan Divine Palace, but they won't stay for long. Now that Imperial clan and Dark Royal race have stopped fighting, they don't need to stay here to keep up appearances. How is Yu Shaoling inside the Nine-Sun Divine Soul? Did she cause any trouble? Xiao Yuelon said with angry smile. That scoundrel, she actually dared to talk about our wedding night in front of so many people. Sister Steam Bun and Sister Shui are being teased by her. She is indeed a rogue elf. Too bad. Qin Yun curled his lips and said, I also hope that you are as bad as her. Be a bit bad to me. Xiao Yuelon's face suddenly became filled with charm. Her tender eyes flickered with a soul-stealing, alluring gaze. Qin Yun mischievously laughed, then carried Xiao Yuelon and walked out of the small wooden building. He released the floating cloud pagoda and enjoyed the world of two people inside. Dawn is about to break. Qin Yun woke up and looked at his beautiful wife nestled in his bosom. He is very happy in his heart. He gently caressed Xiao Yuelon's gentle and beautiful face and lightly shouted, Yuelon, wake up! Xiao Yuelon opened her eyes, looked at Qin Yun, and said with gentle smile, Xiao Yun, go take a bath first. I will carry you. Qin Yun pinched her jade-like nose, then carried the absolutely beautiful woman and walked towards a very large bathing pool. After the two of them finished bathing, they sensed that someone is inside the small building. Xiao Yuelon and Qin Yun put on a set of clean and simple white clothes. After Xiao Yuelon tied up her hair, she walked out of the floating cloud pagoda with Qin Yun. In a small hall on the first floor of the small building, a young man wearing blue clothes and black pants is sitting. Although his appearance is ordinary, he gives people a very gentle and honest feeling. When the young man saw Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon come in, he immediately stood up and said with polite smile, Greetings, big brother and big sister. This little brother is Qin Fenshin. Did Elder Qin send you? Qin Yun asked. Yes. Elder Qin doesn't have time to come today, so he sent me over to bring big brother and big sister to familiarize with the Emperor Race Divine Palace. If you don't understand anything, you can ask me. Qin Fenshin said with smile. Qin Fenshin, where is the dragon race in the Emperor Race Divine Palace? Qin Yun asked. There on the south side. That place is a forbidden area. We can't go there. Qin Fenshin shook his head. There are many forbidden areas in the Emperor Race Divine Palace. Only those with certain status can enter. Then do you know who is the strongest in the Emperor Race Divine Palace? Xiao Yuelon said with smile. Of course, it's the four great clan kings and Dragon Dharma King. In the Immortal Desolate, the strongest in our Qin Imperial clan is Qin Wang. Qin Fenshin said. You want to meet Qin Wang? This is very difficult. Even the elders find it difficult to meet Qin Wang. Qin Yun took out the compass used to search for the dragon and looked. Sure enough, it is pointing to the south side. The area where the dragon is should be inside the forbidden area. Oh, that's right. Have you heard of a guy called Tian Daozi who entered the Emperor Race Divine Palace? Qin Yun asked. Tian Daozi? I think I heard of him. Qin Fenshin frowned and pondered for a moment, then shouted. I remember, I heard an elder say that this Tian Daozi is very powerful. The heavenly law altar he controls is as powerful as our Emperor Mountain. Xiao Yuelon also knows about Emperor Mountain. When they were carrying out that ceremony, she saw it, but she doesn't know much about Emperor Mountain. Soon after, Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon asked many questions about Emperor Mountain. After asking, they found out that the very small Emperor Mountain they dripped blood on is not the real Emperor Mountain. The real Emperor Mountain is in the Divine Desolate, and the small mountain they dripped blood on is just a rock on the Emperor Mountain. Of course, it is not an ordinary Emperor Mountain rock. It is rather special. The Emperor Race Divine Palace is on a huge floating island, and the floating island is also a rock on top of the Emperor Mountain. Just a rock is so huge, it can be seen that the Emperor Mountain must be very magnificent. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan also understood the use of Emperor Mountain. When cultivating, one can absorb the energy inside the Emperor Mountain. And the energy inside the Emperor Mountain, on one hand, is obtained by absorbing the 9 suns. On the other hand, it can be produced by itself. After absorbing the Emperor Mountain's energy to cultivate, the immortal power and body within one's body will become even stronger than ordinary people. Moreover, it can allow people to advance by leaps and bounds. Furthermore, the Emperor Mountain's energy has the effect of quickly healing and can also strengthen the soul. If one's bloodline purity is higher, they can absorb more energy from the Emperor Mountain and absorb and refine it even faster. Within the Emperor race, bloodline purity is divided into 18 levels. First level is the lowest. 18th level is the highest. Qin Fenshin said, as long as one has 10th level bloodline purity, it can be considered excellent. Fenshin, during the bloodline test, the bloodline crystal turned black. What's the reason? Qin Yun asked. This is also something he and Xiao Yuelan are very curious about. Princess Anya knows, the 4 elders also know, but they didn't say anything. About this, usually it's because the bloodline crystal and the bloodline have a conflict. Just change it to another bloodline crystal. It's no big deal. Qin Fenshin said with a smile. Xiao Yuelan and Qin Yun are somewhat astonished. They looked at each other in dismay. The disciples of the Emperor Race Divine Palace actually don't know what the black bloodline crystal means. This is clearly a secret of the clan. What made them puzzled is that Princess Anya actually knows about this. Tian Dao Zi is inside the Dragon Manor. We can't enter the Dragon Manor. It's an important military area. Qin Fenshin knows that Qin Yun wants to see Tian Dao Zi. Tian Dao Zi and Shimon Zhuang are together inside the Dragon Manor, and that Princess Anya is also inside the Dragon Manor. Xiao Yuelan asked, Fenshin, is there any way to enter the Dragon Manor? Qin Fenshin thought for a moment, then shook his head and said, it's very difficult. The Dragon Manor is filled with dragon race disciples. There are dragons, and there are also dragon people. As long as one has dragon bloodline, they can enter the Dragon Manor. So that's how it is. Then why can Tian Dao Zi go in? Qin Yun said, this guy shouldn't have dragon bloodline, right? He is an honored guest invited by the dragon race, so he can go in. Qin Fenshin thought for a moment and suddenly said, these guys from the dragon race are rather inflexible. The rule they set up is that outsiders are not allowed to enter the Dragon Manor. But in the rules they set up, there are also times when outsiders can enter the Dragon Manor. Quickly speak. Qin Yun said with a smile, when can we enter the Dragon Manor? The top 10 of the Emperor Dragon list will be invited to enter the Dragon Manor. However, the top 10 of the Emperor Dragon list are occupied by the dragon race. It's very difficult for our other clans to enter the top 10. Qin Fenshin shook his head and sighed. Emperor Dragon list? Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan looked at each other. If it was a fight, it wouldn't be difficult for them. Chapter 1705. Dragon Lady of Dragon Manor. Xiao Yuelan asked, how can I raise my ranking on the Emperor Dragon list? A fight? There must be something in the Dragon Manor that attracted Princess Anya and the dragon that Qin Yun was looking for. Although Qin Yun had already asked Shimon Zhuang to understand the situation, he could not rely on Shimon Zhuang. Therefore, he wanted to personally enter the Dragon Manor to take a look. Even Qin Fenshin didn't know much about the situation in Dragon Manor. It was obvious how mysterious that place was. The Dragon Clan indeed had a very special position in the Imperial clans. They did not care about the internal and external affairs of the Imperial Clan Divine Palaces, but when the Imperial Clan Divine Palaces were attacked, they would fight and protect the Imperial Clan. Look, the top 10 are all Celestial Emperors. You guys are only Celestial Kings. It will be very difficult for you to enter the top 10. Qin Fenshin slid the crystal board down. He pointed at Qin Majia, who was ranked 17th, and said, this is our elder Qin. He is only ranked 17th. Who is ranked the highest among the 4 elders? Asked Qin Yun. It's Elder Qi. Qi Weiyang is ranked 12th. Qin Fenshin said, Elder Xiao is ranked 15th, and Elder Yuan is ranked 20th. Qin Yun said in astonishment. In that case, the first of the 11th are from the dragon race. The 11th ranked one was surnamed Long. Qin Fengshen nodded. Yes. Xiao Yuan frowned and said, among the top 20, only 6 are not from the dragon race. The rest are from the dragon race. This dragon race is really powerful. Of course, it's the dragon clan after all. Qin Fen smiled and said, it's normal for us humans to be unable to defeat the dragon clan. Half of our clan emperor's body contains dragon blood. Qin Yun said with a smile, are there any rewards for ranking high? Most of the people on the Imperial Dragon list are immortal emperors. As for the Celestial King realm, the highest ranking was only at the 80th position. The higher one's ranking is, the more Emperor Essence heavenly pills they will obtain. Qin Fengshen said with a look of yearning, the Emperor Elemental Heavenly Pill is a type of pill nurtured by Mount Monarch. It's naturally produced and very useful. What's the ranking to obtain it? Qin Yun asked. Both he and Xiao Yuan are extremely tempted. Those ranked from 101 to 200 will receive 1 every month. 51st to 100th place, 2 pills a month. 20 pills per month for the first 10. 10 pills per month for the 11th to 30th. 5 pills per month for the 31st to 50th. When Xiao Yuan heard this, she knew that the D-Essence Heavenly Pill is very useful. As long as she stabilized her ranking, she would be able to get more every month. Is there any effect after eating it? Xiao Yuan asked. Of course it's to improve my cultivation. But I heard that because the seniors at the top are very strong immortal emperors, they don't eat it and only let the juniors eat it. Qin Fengshen said. Qin Yun said, if you want to be ranked at the top, you have to keep fighting, right? Qin Fengshen shook his head no. The ranking of the Emperor Dragon list was based on the accumulated points. Whoever had more points would be able to continue rising up the ranks. I don't know the specifics because it's too far away for me. Xiao Yuan said, we don't need to face those powerful immortal emperors. Qin Fengshen said with a smile, if Big Brother and Big Sister want to participate in the Emperor Dragon list tournament, you can find out more from Elder Qin. All right. Qin Yun nodded. Oh, that's right. Fengshen, how did you survive in the Heavenly Crater for so many years? Xiao Yuan is very curious. I don't know. That's how everyone came here. Fortunately, we have the protection of Emperor Mountain, so we can unceasingly obtain formidable energy. Qin Fengshen said with a smile. In short, the barrier sealing us suddenly loosened, then we can contact the dragon race outside. Qin Yun and others all know what happened next. The Heavenly Crater appeared. A large number of powerful beasts rushed to the Heavenly Crater to help the Emperor race escape. The dragon race's dragons are now in the Dragon Manor. Qin Fengshen also said that the Dragon Manor is very big. Moreover, it has an underground layer that can accommodate many people. In the Dragon Manor, they can also absorb even more energy from the Emperor Mountain. The dragon race's dragons have now obtained the reward they deserve. Qin Yun took out the dragon scale Scarlet Sun Dragon Mother gave him and tried to contact her. Scarlet Sun Dragon Mother is inside the Dragon Manor. If Qin Yun can contact her, maybe he can enter the Dragon Manor through her. Not long after, Scarlet Sun Dragon Mother responded. Grandma Scarlet Sun, I am Qin Yun. Qin Yun sent voice transmission through the Scarlet Sun Dragon Scale. Xiao Yun, I heard you joined the Emperor race. Many people are talking about you. Scarlet Sun Dragon Mother said with smile. I will go meet you now. All right. Do you want to pick you up? Qin Yun is very happy. No need. I could directly fly over to find you. You have the Scarlet Sun Dragon Scale. I know where you are. Scarlet Sun Dragon Mother said with smile. You can fly inside the Emperor Race Divine Palace, but you can't fly randomly. However, Scarlet Sun Dragon Mother is a very strong dragon. She can fly randomly. Qin Fengshen already left the small garden. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuan are waiting for Scarlet Sun Dragon Mother here. Not long after, an awe-inspiring old granny in crimson armor descended from the sky. Hello, Grandma Scarlet Sun. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuan promptly walked over and politely greeted. Yuan, You're also together with this guy in this life? Is truly fate. Scarlet Sun Dragon Mother saw Xiao Yuan and said with deep emotion, Grandma, I am his wife. Xiao Yuan said with charming smile. I haven't been to the Guanghan Palace for a long time. How is Grandma Gong? Scarlet Sun Dragon Mother asked. She is very good. She is now a very strong, immortal emperor. Xiao Yuan nodded and said, Grandma Gong is the Grandma Qin Yun met when he went to the moon. She has been guarding the ruins of the Guanghan Palace, waiting for Yang Shuriwei to return. Scarlet Sun Dragon Mother said with smile, This is good, this is good. Seeing all of you familiar faces from many years ago, I really miss them. They make me feel a lot younger. You youngsters really know how to cause trouble. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuan both laughed. Especially you. You've already died once in this life. You should be a bit more honest. Scarlet Sun Dragon Mother poked Qin Yun's head and scolded with smile. You are also very awesome. You actually got a Xieyong. I have to say, your Divine Inscription Mountain is really awesome. Qin Yun being able to kill a Xieyong is something many people have seen with their own eyes. However, after everyone found out that Qin Yun is an immortal king, they all felt that it was mainly because of the Divine Inscription Mountain and the Sun Soul in Qin Yun's hands. They don't really approve of Qin Yun's own strength. Because many powerful immortal emperors can't do it, Qin Yun can't do it alone, so he must have relied on that very powerful Divine Mountain. Now everyone understands that Divine Inscription Mountain very well. It can operate independently. It has its own consciousness. Its defense is extremely strong. It can attack and defend. If Qin Yun didn't have that Divine Inscription Mountain, he would still be relatively weak. Grandma, we want to enter the Dragon Manor. Can you bring us in? Xiao Yuan said. It's very difficult. If I had the final say in the Dragon Manor, there would be no problem, but the Dragon Manor is not my territory. Our dragon race is only stationed here. Scarlet Sun Dragon Mother shook her head and said, Qin Yun and Xiao Yuan are somewhat disappointed. Scarlet Sun Dragon Mother said with smile, You two little troublemakers, what do you want to do in the Dragon Manor? Don't tell me you want to mess with Princess Anya, or do you want to cause trouble inside? Grandma, we are very honest. We don't have that kind of idea. Xiao Yuan said with smile, The troublemaker is not me. It's that little girl Yueme. She is in the Xiao Imperial family's manor. Don't think that I'm senile. I remember that you and Yueme are the same kind of wild girl. Especially that little girl Yueme. She is very wild. She follows that floating cloud brat to swindle people all day long. Xiao Yuan stuck out her tongue. Qin Yun also did not expect that Xiao Yuan's past life was also a troublemaker. Qin Yun said earnestly, Grandma, I want to find a dragon. It's the dragon on the floating cloud heavenly seal. Do you know it? After Scarlet Sun Dragon Mother heard this, she said with frown, Your floating cloud heavenly seal? The dragon on it? Indeed, do you know? Qin Yun hastily asked. That dragon is also in the Dragon Manor? Scarlet Sun Dragon Mother is very shocked. You don't know? Xiao Yuan asked. Of course I don't know. That dragon is very reckless. If it is really in the Dragon Manor, it would be terrible. Scarlet Sun Dragon Mother cried out in alarm. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuan glanced at each other. They're somewhat astonished. That dragon is even more astonishing than they imagined. Grandma, do you know the dragon? Qin Yun asked. How can I not know? That dragon is my granddaughter. How can I not know? That damn girl. She never came back to see me for so many years. Now she has infiltrated into the Dragon Manor. She still doesn't want to see me. Scarlet Sun Dragon Mother very angrily said, She is infuriating me to death. I have to beat her up a few times. Qin Yun is even more astonished. The head of the floating cloud heavenly seal is actually a female dragon. Grandma, what's going on with that dragon? Why did it become a part of the floating cloud heavenly seal? Qin Yun is very curious. I also don't know. In short, she followed you back then. This matter is very complicated. She is a part of your floating cloud heavenly seal. Scarlet Sun Dragon Mother said. Qin Yun remembered that Xiao Yueme once said that she went to the dragon race's lair and stole a dragon sculpture to make the head of the floating cloud heavenly seal. He did not expect that she is actually Scarlet Sun Dragon Mother's granddaughter. Qin Yin looked at Xiao Yuelon. Xiao Yuelon shook her head. In my past life, only Yueme was with you. I don't know much about the floating cloud, heavenly seal. Yueme also doesn't know much, only that Brat Fuyun and that damn girl know about this matter. I will go find her now. Scarlet Sun Dragon Mother is very angry. Qin Yin thought about it carefully and also felt that this dragon girl is very troublesome. After infiltrating the dragon manor, she actually did not meet with her grandma, who has been separated for so many years and even hid among the dragon race. This damn girl, she must have done something to sneak into the dragon manor. Xiao Fuyun, wait for me. I will immediately capture her. Scarlet Sun Dragon Mother wanted to fly away, but Qin Yin grabbed her. Qin Yin took out the compass and handed it over to Scarlet Sun Dragon Mother. He said with a smile, Grandma, use this to find out where she is. No need. I know she is in the dragon manor. I will find her. Wait for my news. Scarlet Sun Dragon Mother flew away. Chapter 1706. Di Yuan Heavenly Pill Xiao Yuelon pulled Qin Yun back to the small building and asked doubtfully, Xiao Yun, what is going on with the head of the floating cloud heavenly seal? I thought it was just a puppet dragon or something else. I didn't expect it to be a living dragon. Qin Yun nodded and said, I also thought so before. I didn't expect it to be Grandma Qi Yang's granddaughter. I remember Yueme saying that in my previous life, I once infiltrated the dragon race and stole the heavenly dragon statue to use as the head of the floating cloud heavenly seal. How could the heavenly dragon statue be Grandma Qi Yang's granddaughter? We can only wait for Grandma Qi Yang's news. Xiao Yuelon said with a smile, Dragon Girl is also not bad. I like it. You like all kinds of women. You're as bad as you Xiaoling. Qin Yin curled his lips and said, To be honest, I don't really want to be with you. It would be great if we were in the Guanghan Palace. There would be many beautiful sisters. Sigh. Chu Qian's little wife must miss me a lot. And Yao Xue, she seems to be your little wife. Xiao Yuelon said with charming smile. Qin Yin pinched her face and said with smile, Yao Xue is not my little wife. Xiao Yuelon said with angry smile, I don't care, I think she is. Not long after, Qin Finchen returned. Finchen, why are you back? Didn't we tell you to rest today and come back tomorrow? Qin Yin looked at Qin Finchen, who walked in, and said with smile, Tomorrow, bring us around again. Qin Finchen said, Big brother, big sister, I suddenly learned of a big matter. That's why I came to tell you in a hurry. Xiao Yuelon is very curious and hastily asked, What big matter? Aren't you very interested in the Emperor Dragon list? Qin Finchen asked. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon looked at each other, then nodded in response. Qin Finchen said, You want to participate in the Emperor Dragon list mainly because you want to obtain the Di Yuan Heavenly Pill, right? But with your current cultivation, it is not suitable for you to participate in the Emperor Dragon list. Apart from the Di Yuan Heavenly Pill, Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon are also very curious about the situation inside the Dragon Manor. Qin Finchen paused slightly and continued. In order to make their allies stronger quickly, the Emperor clan joined forces with the Immortal King City to create an Immortal King ranking. At that time, the Immortal King Ancient City will fly to the vicinity of the Emperor Clan Divine Palace, and the Immortal Kings of the Emperor Clan can also participate. If there was a ranking, he would be able to receive a considerable amount of Emperor Essence Heavenly Pills every month, and there would also be reward from the Immortal King Ancient City. I suggest that Big Brother and Big Sister participate. Through the Celestial King ranking list, they can obtain the Heavenly Divinity Elixir and quickly become Celestial Emperors. Then, they can challenge the Sovereign Dragon list. This will take a long time, right? Qin Yin wanted to hurry up. Not long. If it was in the past, it would have taken at least tens of thousands of years. But now, it is not necessary. It may only take 1 or 2 years. The premise is that we have the Di Yuan Heavenly Dan, Qin Finchen said. Xiao Yuelon said, All right, we will participate when the time comes. Right? Even immortal kings can participate? In that case, Will the immortal king level dragons of the dragon clan also participate? Qin Finchin nodded. That's for sure. Therefore, it is rather difficult to rank among the top. Qin Yun also want to see how strong the dragons of the Emperor Clan Dragon Manor are. Thank you for providing us with this information, Qin Yun said with a smile. You're welcome. If there is any new information, I will come again. After Qin Finchin finished speaking, he quickly left. Qin Yun took out the Scarlet Sun Dragon scale and tried to contact Scarlet Sun Dragon Mother, but he did not succeed immediately. After he tried for a while, Scarlet Sun Dragon Mother replied, Xiao Yun, wait a moment, I have a problem here. After Scarlet Sun Dragon Mother finished speaking, she cut off the connection. Xiao Yuelon said, that dragon girl's matter is not that simple. Could it be that she caused a great disaster? Grandma Scarlet Sun, if you need help, you must contact me as soon as possible. Qin Yun left a message through the Scarlet Sun Dragon scale. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon are rather worried that the dragon girl caused a disaster. Dragon girl is the key part of the floating cloud heavenly seal. If something happens and the floating cloud heavenly seal is not complete, they won't be able to go to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range. Siekaru said that the floating cloud heavenly seal is the key to go to the Cloud Dragon Mountain Range and open the mysterious immortal graveyard. At noon, Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon are patiently waiting for Scarlet Sun Dragon Mother's news. At this time, Elder Qin finally arrived. After Elder Qin arrived, he said with a smile, I heard from Finchin that the two of you are very interested in the Emperor Dragon list, especially the Emperor Essence Heavenly Pill. Elder, who is Qin Finchin? Xiao Yuelon asked curiously. One of my grandchildren, Elder Qin said with a chuckle. Although Elder Qin only has the appearance of a middle-aged man, he has lived for a very long time. I can't tell, this kid is very modest, Qin Yun said with a smile. He also didn't say that he is your grandson. I forbid him to go around saying it, lest he uses my name to run amok. Elder Qin said, took out a jade bottle and poured out 2 milky white pills. This is the Emperor Essence Heavenly Pill. Try it out, Elder Qin said with a smile. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon are pleasantly surprised. They had already guessed what effect the Emperor Essence Heavenly Pill would have. They never expected to obtain one now. And we will eat it later, Xiao Yuelon said with a smile. Thank you, Elder. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon kept the 2 pills. Elder Qin also sat down and said, It's still too early for you to participate in the Emperor Dragon list. You need to have at least a 5th level Immortal King cultivation to be able to raise your ranking. If you participate too early, you will suffer a great loss. Qin Yun said, Elder, Finchin told us about the Immortal King list. You must know more than him, right? Speaking of the Immortal King list, Elder Qin slightly frowned and said, The Immortal King list is jointly organized by Holy Sun Ancient City, Dark Royal Race, and Imperial Race. What? The Dark Royal Race is also participating? Xiao Yuelon said in shock. Yes. The rewards obtained by the top rankers will be provided by Holy Sun Ancient City, Dark Royal Race, and Imperial Race. Among them, Holy Sun Ancient City will provide 20% of the rewards. Dark Royal Race and Imperial Race will each provide 40%. Elder Qin nodded and said, If the top rankers are mostly members of our Imperial Race, then we will make a profit. If all the Immortal Kings participate, then it will be very difficult for us, who have just become Immortal Kings, to enter the list. Qin Yun sighed. Therefore, you must raise your cultivation as soon as possible. As long as you are at the 3rd or 4th level of the Immortal King realm, it is still possible to enter the top 100. Elder Qin said, If you enter the top 100, there will be rewards every month. Qin Yun felt that if he controlled a large amount of sacred mysterious silver crystals and those Emperor Origin Heavenly Pills, he would be able to quickly become an immortal emperor. With the strength of an immortal emperor, entering the immortal graveyard would definitely be very safe. Elder, is the sunstorm that you're worried about coming? Xiao Yuelon asked. Not yet. If it is coming, we will inform you in advance. Elder Qin said. We are still discussing some rules regarding the Immortal King list. When it begins, I will inform you. Elder, What exactly is going on with the Dragon Manor? Why aren't people allowed to enter? Qin Yun very much wants to enter the Dragon Manor to take a look. The Dragon Manor is very mysterious. This is the ancient teachings of the imperial race. The Dark Royal Race's Princess Anya was held hostage in the Imperial Race Divine Palace, but was invited to the Dragon Manor. This is very abnormal. Elder Qin said, "What the Dragon Race wants to do, we have no right to interfere." In short, for many years, when protecting the Imperial Race, the Dragon Race has always been at the forefront. They will not harm the Imperial Race. Xiao Yuelon asked, "Elder, the Dark Royal Race and the Imperial Race have stopped fighting. During the period of the ceasefire, are they going to cooperate or something?" I have a feeling that the matter of the ceasefire is not that simple. Elder Qin laughed and said, "Yuelon, your intuition is really accurate. There are two reasons for the ceasefire between the Imperial Race and the Dark Royal Race. One is to deal with the Sunstorm. The other is more important. The Dark Royal Race and the Imperial Race have been fighting for control of the Nine Desolate for a long time. And the Nine Desolate is also gradually known by many people outside the Nine Sun domain. In the past, even if the Imperial Race and the Dark Royal Race suffered heavy losses, no other power would come to take advantage of them. But now it is different. If the Imperial Race and the Dark Royal Race suffered heavy losses, they might be completely annihilated." Qin Yun said in shock. "The person who came to take advantage of them is very strong? Is it a power from the outer realm?" Elder Qin nodded and said, "According to the information we have gathered, the power from outside the Nine Sun heavenly domain is very strong. As long as the Imperial Race and the Dark Royal Race do not suffer heavy losses, the power from the outer realm won't dare to act recklessly. The powers from the outer realm came from the distant starry sky of the universe. They are not within the system of the Nine Suns and Nine Desolate. Now, in the Immortal Desolate, there are many such small-scale powers from the outer realm, such as those fellows from the Heavenly Tiger Star. The universe is vast and boundless. There are definitely many more powerful powers. The Nine Suns and Nine Desolate are also attractive enough to attract powers from outside the Nine Sun heavenly domain to plunder." Elder Qin suddenly received a message and left in a hurry. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon began eating the 2D origin heavenly pills. They ate inside the floating cloud pagoda, and after eating, they began to cultivate together. They're husband and wife. When they cultivate together, they will also use the third level of the Sun and Moon Heart Sutra. Only after the wedding night, their relationship will become even more intimate. Their body, mind, and spirit will completely fuse together. Only then can they cultivate the third level of the Sun and Moon Heart Sutra. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon embraced each other. When cultivating the third level, they can directly enter the second level of the Divine Fusion Technique. Their bodies are cultivating together, but their minds can fuse together. Xiao Yun, that D-Origin Heavenly Pill is really amazing. If we cultivate together at the third level, maybe it will allow you to break through to the peak of the second level of the Immortal King realm," Xiao Yuelon said with a smile. After their mental worlds fused, Ling Yun also appeared. The appearance of Ling Yun caused Xiao Yuelon to be very surprised. These two female hooligans hated each other for not meeting sooner. After meeting, they unscrupulously took advantage of each other in front of Qin Yun. "Have you guys played enough? I want to cultivate." Qin Yun coughed dryly and shouted. Qin Yun wants to practice those martial arts and martial skills. Xiao Yuelon can accompany him to practice. This is also very good. The two of them cultivated together for half a day and refined the D-Origin Heavenly Pill's medicinal effect. Qin Yun indeed broke through. He also felt that the D-Origin Heavenly Pill's effect is extremely strong. Of course, this is also because he cultivated the third level of the Sun and Moon Heart Sutra. Xiao Yuelon's cultivation is also the same as Qin Yun's. Xiao Yuelon helped Qin Yun put on his clothes and said, "Xiao Yun, your sun-suppressing divine arrow has not awakened yet. There must be a problem with cultivating the Sun core. Do you want Yu Shaoling to help you take a look? Chapter 17:07. Spirit Mind Cultivation. Yu Shaoling was a sun elf. She had lived in the sun for many years and had a certain connection with the heart of the sun. Although she was not inside the sun and could not sense the heart of the sun, she definitely knew a lot about the cultivation of the heart of the sun. Yulan, I remember that this sun elf is residing in your soul. Can't she be separated from you? Asked Qin Yun. Not really. The main thing is that we can't be separated for too long. Xiao Yuan also put on her clothes and said with a smile, Quickly let her out. Qin Yun released Yu Shaoling. Yu Shaoling's tall and slender body was fiery and gorgeous. She simply covered her waist and upper body. Her long golden hair was twirling with a faint golden splendor. Her jade-white ears were pointy, her skin was creamy, and her appearance was beautiful and charming. After she came out, a charming smile appeared on her face. Then, she hugged Xiao Yuan and kissed her. Her nose twitched as if she was sniffing something. Io, the young couple is very loving. I can tell that this is the sour smell of love. Yu Shaoling said with a face full of jealousy, You two are carefree and happy, but you forgot about me. Damn it. Yu Shaoling, who was sitting on the bed, extended out her jade-white, slender, beautiful leg. Her delicate, jade-like leg slowly extended towards Qin Yun's stomach. It is extremely alluring. However, who would have thought that she would suddenly kick Qin Yun's stomach? Qin Yun retreated a few steps from the kick. He felt displeased in his heart. He quickly stepped forward and grabbed Yu Shaoling's jade foot. Then, he took out a feather and scratched the bottom of her foot. Yu Shaoling immediately giggled. She wanted to struggle, but was suppressed by Qin Yun's supergravity. Who told you to randomly kick me? Qin Yun scolded with a smile. Yulan, save me. I'm going to die of laughter. Yu Shaoling laughed and shouted. Xiao Yuan pinched Yu Shaoling's jade waist and said with a smile, I'm not going to save you. Who told you to bully my little husband? I'll let you suffer some punishment. Soon after, Xiao Yuan also scratched Yu Shaoling's body, causing her to laugh nonstop. You husband and wife, you're so infuriating, so infuriating. Yu Shaoling laughed as she shouted. Xiao Yuan pinched Yu Shaoling's belly and scolded with a smile. I told you to kick my little husband. I'll let you off this time. Qin Yun also stopped messing around. Yu Shaoling also laughed until she was gasping for breath. She looked at Xiao Yuan with hidden bitterness. After she caught her breath, she pounced on Xiao Yuan, and the two of them hugged each other and played around. Yu Shaoling pinched Xiao Yuan's body a few times and only stopped after taking a little advantage. Dead Yulan, with little husband, you forgot about me, your good sister. Yu Shaoling scoffed as she tidied up her messy blonde hair. Xiao Yuan is also at the side, smiling tenderly as she tidied up the few pieces of cloth on Yu Shaoling's body because they were almost torn off. Little Ling, can't you wear a little more? Qin Yun said with a smile. It's not like you don't have clothes to wear. I don't like wearing clothes at all. I don't even wear clothes in the Guanghan Palace. Yu Shaoling laughed. Little husband, didn't Yulan tell you about this? Qin Yun curled his lips and said, What's there to talk about? This Yu Shaoling is truly a very coquettish rogue fairy. Qin Yun also has lingering fear in his heart. Previously, he fell into Yu Shaoling's hands and was almost eaten by her. Yu Shaoling looked at Qin Yun and smiled charmingly. Coupled with her extremely alluring demeanor, she is filled with an extremely strong charm, causing Qin Yun's mind to ripple. Little husband, between me and Yulan, who is prettier? Yu Shaoling shook her pair of fairy wings and looked at Qin Yun with her charming eyes. Of course it's Yulan who is prettier. Qin Yun took out the sun-suppressing divine arrow and said with a smile, All right, I forbid you to call me little husband. Who is your little husband? Yu Shaoling immediately puffed up her cheeks, looked at Xiao Yuan and said, Yulan, look after him. He doesn't recognize me. Didn't you say that your little hubby is my little hubby? Xiao Yuan glared at Qin Yun and said, Isn't it just a title? Why not? It's not like you'll lose a piece of meat. All right, whatever you want. Qin Yun shook his head and smiled. Yu Shaoling's face is filled with pride. she said with a smile. Little husband, Yulan said that you are unable to cultivate the sun core, right? Qin Yun nodded, then sat on the bedside and handed the sun-suppressing divine arrow to her. Yu Shaoling took it. Her charming jade-like face is filled with a charming smile. I can help you cultivate it, but you bullied me just now. I won't help you. How can you be like this? You were the one who kicked me first. Qin Yun said unhappily. You were the one who bullied me first. I'm just giving you a small punishment. But I'm angry, Yu Shaoling said with a charming smile. You have to compensate me. How? Qin Yun glanced at Xiao Yuelon and asked. You also bully Yulan like that? Yu Shaoling smiled naughtily. No way. I won't bully her. Qin Yun immediately refused. Xiao Yuelon said with a smile. Xiao Yun, come. Qin Yun understood that Yu Shaoling only wants to play around. Soon after, Qin Yun also scratched Xiao Yuelon's feet. Yu Shaoling also smiled and scratched Xiao Yuelon's entire body, causing Xiao Yuelon to laugh nonstop. After Yu Shaoling had enough fun, she is also satisfied. Then, she tidied up Xiao Yuelon's messy hair, helped her comb it, and tied it up into a ponytail. Then, she kissed Xiao Yuelon on the cheek. It can be seen that their relationship is extremely good and they are very playful. Can we begin now? Qin Yun said. Yu Shaoling held Qin Yun's sun-suppressing divine arrow and carefully looked at it for a while. She said with a frown, Little husband, there's a problem with your sun-suppressing divine arrow. There's a problem? Qin Yun is somewhat astonished and hurriedly asked, What problem? How come I didn't notice? Generally speaking, the sun-suppressing divine arrow will guide the owner to cultivate the sun core, but your sun-suppressing divine arrow doesn't have any spiritual will to guide cultivation. Yu Shaoling's jade-like face is filled with seriousness as she said, This is a very big problem. Behind Yu Shaoling, Xiao Yuelon combed her shoulder-length blonde hair and said with a frown, Shaoling, do you have a way to let him cultivate it? The sun-suppressing divine arrow is very powerful. If he can't wake up, he will be crippled. I know, I will help him. I have a way, Yu Shaoling said, but I want to study this sun-suppressing divine arrow. Is that all right? No problem. Thank you, Shaoling. Qin Yun said with a smile. You are my little husband. Why are you being polite? Yu Shaoling's charming eyes are smiling. Her voice is sweet and charming. She has an extremely flirtatious look. Little husband, how are you going to thank Shaoling? Xiao Yuelon said with a charming smile. How do you want me to thank you? Qin Yun is startled and said with a smile, Kiss me. Yu Shaoling pointed at her rosy and beautiful face and said with a charming smile, Yuelon allows it. Xiao Yuelon pushed Qin Yun. Qin Yun could only lean over and kiss Yu Shaoling's face. What surprised him is that after he leaned over and kissed her, a very strong wild fragrance suddenly rushed over. This Yu Shaoling's face is very fragrant. Yu Shaoling is very happy. She giggled and said, Let me go inside. You two, little husband and wife, continue your sweet time. Qin Yun placed Yu Shaoling inside the nine-sun divine spirit and let her study the sun-suppressing divine arrow. This coquettish fairy, Qin Yun licked his lips and said, She smells so good. That's right, her whole body smells so good. I love kissing her the most. Xiao Yuelon said with a smile. You and I both have a little fairy. Qin Yun is very helpless. That Ling Yun, is also a hoodlum. Xiao Yun, you and I are both second-level immortal kings. Xiao Yuelon spoke, and then condensed a white immortal king power in her palm. There are two different types of tiny king crystals inside. Qin Yun nodded and said, With our strength, we should be able to defeat a third-level immortal king. If we go fight that immortal king ranking, we will definitely be ranked. As long as we have a ranking, we will be able to obtain the Emperor Essence Heavenly Pill and quickly break through and become stronger. I really want to go quickly. Xiao Yuelon said with a smile. We cultivate the Sun and Moon Heart Sutra together. One pill can be used as 3 pills. It's really good. Qin Yun kissed Xiao Yuelon's face and said, Yuelon, have you informed the Guanghan Palace? I have. Big Sister Yang said that she will let little Mei in. Yinying and Xiaofeng, come over. Xiao Yuelon said. Xiaofeng will also come. Qin Yun is somewhat astonished. Long Xiaofeng has dragon bloodline in her body, and she also has dragon and phoenix twin martial spirits. Qin Yun carved dragon totem in her body. He doesn't know how she is now. Xiaofeng has dragon bloodline in her body. If she is willing, she might be able to enter the dragon manor. Xiao Yuelon smiled mysteriously. At that time, we can let Xiaofeng investigate the situation inside the dragon manor. That's true. Qin Yun nodded and said with smile. Xiaofeng is one of us. She is very trustworthy. Xiao Yuelon said with charming smile. Moreover, she is very beautiful. You helped her before and even saved her. Her heart is all yours. My wife, then please help me take good care of her in the future. I can't take care of her. Qin Yun said with smile. I know, you heartless man. Xiao Yuelon said with angry smile. After they tidied up their clothes, they walked out of the floating cloud pagoda. Today, they plan to go out for a walk and take a look at the Emperor Race Divine Palace. They arrived at the hall and waited for Qin Fun. This brat Fun Tian came a bit late today. Qin Yun looked at the sky and said with frown, It's almost noon. Maybe he has an urgent matter? Xiao Yuelon said with smile. She drank the sweet divine honey tea. Her appearance is very charming and beautiful. Qin Yun can't help but kiss her again. Noon. Qin Fun finally arrived. He is wearing a black tight, fitting outfit. It looks wrinkled. His complexion is also somewhat ugly. Corner of his mouth and eyes are a bit swollen. His hair is somewhat messy, and his expression is flustered. Big brother, big sister, I ran into something. I came late. Qin Fun lowered his head and said timidly. Fun Tian, were you beaten up? Xiao Yuelon said. Who beat you? Your grandfather? Were you bullied? Qin Yun said with frown. No. I fought with someone and lost. Qin Fun said with bitter smile. My skill is inferior. Chapter 1708. Gate Battle Platform. Although Qin Fenshin is Elder Qin's grandson, he is not arrogant at all. Moreover, he is very humble. He is indeed a very good person. Qin Yun said with smile, Little Fenshin, you are now a third-level immortal king. What is the cultivation of the person you are fighting? Also a third-level immortal king. Qin Fenshin scratched his head and said, I have a fire attribute, immortal martial spirit. My immortal king power is flame. The person I'm fighting against is of the water attribute. He's restraining me to death. That's because your fire is not strong enough. If your fire was strong enough, you would be able to burn water into mist. Xiao Yuelon said with smile. Indeed, I am indeed too weak. Qin Fenshin sighed and said, Let's go, let's fight again. I guarantee that you will win. Qin Yun said with smile. In passing, bring us around this palace. This you can't cheat in battle. Qin Fenshin said. Big brother Qin Yun, I know you are very capable, but if you cheat, you will anger them. Of course I'm not cheating. Qin Yun said with smile. Let's go. Qin Fenshin can only bring Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon out of the garden to find the person who defeated him. I remember that they walked out of the gate of the Emperor Race Divine Palace. Could it be that they are fighting outside? Xiao Yuelon said in shock. They are fighting in the plaza outside the gate. Because they are fighting with the Dark Royal Race. Qin Fenshin said. Fighting with the Dark Royal Race? Very good. Xiao Yuelon immediately became excited. She took out a mask and put it on. She said with smile, Princess Anya wears a mask. I also want to wear a mask. Princess Anya arranged for the Dark Royal Race to fight with us. Qin Fenshin said again. Princess Anya is a very strong, immortal king. It is said that after she entered the Dragon Manor, she challenged a dragon warrior with higher cultivation than her. In the end, that dragon warrior lost miserably. Qin Yun said in shock, Is there such a thing? Is this true? Qin Fenshin nodded and said, It's true. She challenged 3 very strong, immortal king-level dragon warriors and defeated them all. What is her cultivation? Xiao Yuelon said with frown. I heard that Princess Anya might have come from Sacred Desolate. She suppressed her Sacred Realm cultivation. She's not at the saint rank. It said that she was already at the celestial king realm when she was born. She was sealed the moment she was born and only broke the seal after being sealed for a long time. Then, she slowly grew up, said Qin Fenshin. Then what's her cultivation level at the immortal king realm? Asked Qin Yun. I heard from the Dragon Manor's dragon warrior that she's at the 6th level of the celestial king realm. Qin Fenshin said in a low voice, Big brother and big sister, don't provoke that woman. She's very terrifying. Xiao Yuelon said, When I reach the 5th level of the immortal king realm, I will challenge her. I want to defeat her and then take her in. Qin Yun and Qin Fenshin were stunned. Then they looked at Xiao Yuelon. Xiao Yuelon chuckled and said, What are you looking at? Let's go. As they walked towards the entrance of the Imperial Race Divine Palace, Qin Yun quickly carved runes on Qin Fenshin's palms and fused them into his flesh and bones. There were many people outside Emperor Clan Divine Palace's gates. It was extremely lively. Outside the gate was a very wide platform, and there was a battle stage with array, pillars, and barriers. The warriors of the Dark Royal Clan and the Emperor Clan all surrounded the fighting platform, watching the intense battle on it. What surprised Qin Yun is that Shimen Dazhuang is actually here. He is holding a harmless-looking and extremely adorable little pig, chatting and laughing with the people beside him. Qin Yun is here, someone suddenly shouted. Not many people have seen Qin Yun, but among the several thousand people around the battle stage, there are still some who have seen Qin Yun. Qin Yun's name is very resounding. Knowing that he has arrived, everyone looked around and then looked towards the entrance of the Divine Palace. Qin Fenshin brought Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon out. Xiao Yuelon is wearing a mask, but because she's wearing a tight waist dress, it is possible to see that she is a woman. Only Shimen Dazhuang can sense a very familiar aura. He immediately knew that it is Qin Yun's very powerful wife. Uncle Qin, Shimen Dazhuang shouted with a smile from far away. Boss, I'm over here. Qin Yun wished he could send Shimen Dazhuang flying with a punch. He actually called him uncle again. Hearing someone call Qin Yun uncle, everyone found it very funny. After all, he is so young and handsome. Being called uncle by someone is truly comical. At this time, a bald youngster suddenly jumped out from the crowd. This bald youngster is wearing black clothes. His face is filled with battle intent. He is none other than Su Xiaoba. Master. Su Xiaoba very happily laughed and said, I finally get to meet you, Master. Ha ha ha. I did not expect that you're only 2nd level Immortal King. I am now 4th level Immortal King. I can defeat you with one hand. Su Xiaoba has world extermination spirit inside his body. Later on, Qin Yun carved many totems and runes on his body, making him even more powerful. Brother Batian, this Qin Yun is your master? Someone shouted in shock. Holy shit. Is this true? Why didn't you say anything? You actually have such an awesome master. Brother Batian, you can defeat same level dragon warriors. Your master must also be very strong. Oh, that's right, Brother Batian. Is your master really only 2nd level Immortal King? Can you defeat him? Su Xiaoba frequently challenges people everywhere. He is a very good fighter of Nether Sect. He is very famous in Immortal Desolate. Qin Long is Nether Sect's representative. He also brought Su Xiaoba to the Emperor Race Divine Palace. These days, Su Xiaoba has defeated many Emperor Race experts in the Divine Palace, so his reputation has spread far and wide. Just now, Su Xiaoba defeated same-level Dark Royal Race experts. Even Dark Dragon warriors who are 1 level higher than him were not his match. Therefore, there are also Dark Royal Race people who were shocked just now. Everyone respectfully calls Su Xiaoba Brother Batian. This Brother Batian dares to say that he can hang up and beat his own master. It is very admirable. Su Xiaoba, Su Xiaoba, you have lost to me so many times. Why haven't you learned your lesson? Qin Yun shook his head and smiled. Master, please call me Su Woody Batian. Su Xiaoba laughed loudly and said, Master, today is different from the past. Disciple has defeated Master many times. You don't need to feel sad. Brother Batian, old boy Ren Yun stabbed Xieyang up, destroyed the altar down. even almost destroyed Holy Sun City. He is much stronger than you. You should restrain yourself a bit. The person who ran out to speak is Darren. That slut Darren can become an immortal king. This caused Qin Yun to feel very amazed. That is because Master used equipment. Who doesn't know that he is a very strong inscription master? So this is nothing. If we were to fight barehanded, he would not be my match. Su Xiaoba very proudly said. An immortal king from the immortal King Ancient City said in a strange tone, Qin Yun is just relying on powerful equipment and Sun Soul. Plus, he was lucky enough to obtain a divine mountain. That's why he can stab Xie Yang up and dismantle the altar down. If he doesn't rely on these things, he is nothing. The Dark Royal Race people are also very unhappy with Qin Yun. They said with sneer, this guy destroyed my Xie Yang by relying on a star core from Divine Desolate. It is not his own strength. After Xie Yang was destroyed, the Dark Royal Race people investigated and found out that it was caused by a star core from Divine Desolate exploding inside the Xie Yang. Therefore, many people think this way and followed the trend to ridicule Qin Yun, saying that Qin Yun relied on external objects. Qin Yun's expression is indifferent. He said with smile, Xiaoba, Master is only a second-level immortal king. It is normal for me to not be able to defeat you. Su Xiaoba said with smile, Master, who here is someone you want to teach a lesson to? I will help you teach him a lesson. I want to teach Princess Anya a lesson, can I? Qin Yun said with mischievous smile. Come, Princess Anya said with smile. I want to see how Brother Batian will teach me a lesson. Master, aren't you making things difficult for me? That Dark Knight female Mad Tigress is very powerful. Su Xiaoba lowered his voice, changed to another one. Princess Anya coldly groaned. She gnashed her teeth in anger. She also wants to teach Su Xiaoba a lesson. At this time, someone from the Dark Royal Race said, Yo, isn't that Qin Fun? I heard that he's the grandson of the Qin Imperial clan's Elder Qin. Isn't he a little too weak? Qin Fun immediately lowered his head. Who defeated Qin Fun just now? Qin Yun yelled. A youth wearing black clothes, face filled with arrogance, walked out and yelled. It was me who defeated him in 3 moves. What about it? Qin Yun, are you going to replace him? Qin Yun said with smile. I gave him pointers on 2 moves. I guarantee that he won't be restrained by your water attribute, immortal power. On the way here, Qin Yun quickly carved a few sets of special star runes. He imprinted them on Qin Finch's palms so that his flames would no longer be afraid of water. Hearing his words, everyone present roared with laughter. Princess Anya said with smile, Qin Yun, I didn't expect you to be such a braggart. Now I understand you a little bit more. A dragon warrior from the Dragon Manor solemnly said, That's impossible. The reason why Qin Fun lost so quickly is because his flame was restrained by water. This is very normal. It is very difficult to not be restrained. He is just bragging. He is not the one who went up to fight anyways. A Dark Royal Race person said with smile. That's right. The one who went up to fight is Qin Fun. The one who was beaten is not Qin Yun. What does it matter if he is bragging? Someone from the Emperor race said with smile. Su Xiaoba suddenly recalled that Qin Yun has mastered all kinds of good runes. Moreover, he can fuse runes with immortal martial spirit and body. This is an extremely brilliant method, so he believes that Qin Yun's pointers are very formidable. Master, the Dark Royal Race people really like to gamble. Why don't you just gamble with them? Su Xiaoba said with smile. Gamble with what? Qin Yun said. Gamble with your Sun Soul. A Dark Royal Race person shouted. Then do you have Sun Soul? You don't have Sun Soul. Why should I take out my Sun Soul to gamble? Qin Yun chuckled and said, his laughter is filled with ridicule. I am not belittling you. To be honest, all of your lives added together are not enough to exchange for my Sun Soul. You want to take out my Sun Soul to gamble? The Dark Royal Race people are very angry, but they can't refute. Sun Soul is very precious. They really can't gamble. Princess Anya said, Qin Yun, I will gamble with you. I have 2 Emperor Essence Heavenly Pills in my hands. I bet that my Dark Royal Race people can defeat Qin Fun. I don't have Emperor Essence Heavenly Pills. Qin Yun spread out his hands. You don't have Emperor Essence Heavenly Pills, but you have runes. If you lose, you'll give me 2 sun runes. Princess Anya said. Chapter 1709. Great teacher's guidance. All right, it's just 2 sun runes. Let's bet. Qin Yun is very confident in Qin Fenshin. If he can win, he will get 2 Emperor Essence Heavenly Pills. Then let's begin. Princess Anya said to a youth. Zhe Yuan, you go up. You defeated that guy in 3 moves before. You can definitely do it now. Qin Fenshin was defeated by me in 3 moves before. His injuries should not be light. I can definitely defeat him now. Zhe Yuan proudly smiled and jumped onto the stage. Qin Yun is now peak 2nd level Immortal King. If he eats another pill, he will most likely break through to 3rd level. At that time, participating in the Immortal King ranking will be a lot smoother. Qin Fenshin is still injured. He was defeated in 3 moves. It is indeed a big joke, so much so that he is now somewhat afraid. However, Qin Yun gave him great encouragement. Moreover, he carved runes on his palms, telling him the trick to deal with water attribute Immortal King power. Qin Fenshin wants to give it a try, to see if it is really that useful, so he mustered up his courage and jumped onto the stage. Zhe Yuan is tall and big. His imposing manner is much stronger than Qin Fenshin's. Qin Fenshin lost once before. Moreover, he lost very quickly. His complexion has not recovered yet. It is clear that his injuries are still there. Even in such a situation, he still went up to fight. This caused many people to shake their heads. Qin Yun, you're not being kind and honest. If Qin Fenshin is seriously injured and left with some hidden injuries, can you take responsibility? Someone from Qin Imperial family said with frown. Qin Yun, we all know that Qin Fenshin has been arranged to be your guide, to let you familiarize yourself with the Emperor Race Divine Palace. But you can't use flowery words to make him go up and risk his life. Quickly make him come down. For 2 Emperor Essence Heavenly Pills, it is very likely that you will ruin Qin Fenshin's future. With this kind of disparity, even if Qin Fenshin can defeat his opponent, he will definitely be seriously injured. Emperor Race people are all criticizing Qin Yun one after another. Actually, they're also worried for Qin Fenshin. Qin Yun said, you guys just watch. Fenshin will definitely win. An Immortal King from the ancient city of Immortal King sneered. Qin Yun, Qin Fenshin, and Zhe Yuan's battle just ended not long ago. How can he win now that he brought him into the battle? Zhe Yuan didn't even use his full strength to win. It can be seen that Qin Fenshin isn't his match at all. Ignoring that person, he shouted, get ready to start. Princess Anya shouted coldly, begin. When the battle started, Zhe Yuan's body overflowed with a very strong Immortal King's power. Walala! In an instant, the Celestial King power transformed into a large expanse of water, condensing into a huge palm, and slapped towards Qin Fenshin. Qin Fen dodged immediately. His movement technique was pretty good. He was able to dodge the sudden sailor palm. Bang! The huge sailor's palm slammed on the platform, creating a muffled sound. On the other hand, Qin Fenshin, who had dodged to the side, pushed his palms out. Scorching Immortal King energy overflowed from his palms, and 2 flames shot towards Zhe Yuan. Using fire to draw water? Ridiculous! Zhe Yuan mocked, only to see a water wall suddenly appear in front of him. The water wall is very thick, flowing with very strong Immortal King power. It wrapped around Zhe Yuan's body. Everyone saw Qin Fenshin use fire to attack water. They all shook their heads and laughed. However, the 2 flames Qin Fenshin shot out suddenly transformed into lightning. The lightning struck the water. Zhe Yuan's expression changed. His whole body is in pain from being struck by the formidable electric current, causing him to let out a roar. Walala! The water wall wrapped around Zhe Yuan's body suddenly dispersed. Seeing Zhe Yuan's painful expression, everyone immediately understood that it was the flames Qin Fenshin shot out earlier, causing Zhe Yuan's whole body to be in pain. Qin Fenshin's palms have 2 kinds of star runes. One is Lightning Star Rune. The other is water-repelling star rune. Just now, Qin Finshin used lightning star rune, letting his flame immortal king power bring along formidable electric current and attack Zhe Yuan through water. Qin Finshin is an imperial family descendant. Moreover, he is Elder Qin's grandson. He must have obtained a lot of resources. His immortal king power is not weak at all. Because he can only use flame immortal king power, he was restrained by the opponent's water. And now, Qin Finshin can use the star rune carved by Qin Yun to transform the formidable immortal king power into electric current, which can effectively attack water. Qin Finshin is wild with joy in his heart. He is even more in admiration of Qin Yun. One must know that before, no matter how strong his flame was, it was unable to break the opponent's water wall. But just now, after adding the lightning star rune's electric current, it made Zhe Yuan cry out in pain. The spectators outside the battle platform are all extremely shocked. Many people looked at Qin Yun. They hope he can explain what is going on. The imperial family descendant just criticized Qin Yun, but now he doesn't dare to say anything. Just from Qin Finshin's move, which made the opponent cry out in pain, it is clear that Qin Yun's guidance to Qin Finshin is very effective. Qin Finshin used equipment. Impossible, there is a barrier above the battle platform. If he used equipment, it would be detected. Then what is going on? How can this guy Qin Finshin suddenly use formidable lightning immortal king power? It must be Qin Yun's help. I have to say, Qin Yun really has some tricks. Some people are discussing spiritedly. Princess Anya lightly shouted, "Zhe Yuan, what are you doing? Quickly take him down. If you lose, I will give 2D origin heavenly pills to Qin Yun." Zhe Yuan frowned and suddenly roared. On the huge battle platform, inside the barrier, water suddenly surged in all directions. A large amount of water suddenly gushed out from all directions, covering the entire battle platform in a short while. The surrounding battle platform is dozens of meters deep, and it is very clear, like a transparent fish tank. Zhe Yuan and Qin Finshin are now at the bottom of the water. Zhe Yuan's move is very powerful. In his water domain, no one can move. Qin Finshin's flame can't be released at all. The water released by Zhe Yuan all contains very strong immortal king power. Qin Finshin can't move in the water. He is also being attacked. Qin Finshin can't fight back. It is also difficult for him to break free. He will lose for sure. Outside the battle platform, everyone can see that Qin Finshin is being attacked by the water with strong immortal king power from all directions. However, Qin Finshin is very calm. Next, a shocking scene occurred. Qin Finshin's body suddenly released a very strong flame. His body is wrapped up in flame. The flame contains very strong immortal king power. Water fire. This amazing scene caused everyone to be dumbstruck. Most shocking thing is that Qin Finshin can suddenly move very fast in the water. His whole body is covered in flame as he charged at Zhe Yuan. Hua! Qin Finshin's flaming fist is flickering with electric threads. It ruthlessly smashed on Zhe Yuan's face. Releasing flame can make Qin Finshin's fist have even stronger impact. When he attacked Zhe Yuan, lightning burst out. Violent electric current attacked Zhe Yuan's body. Qin Finshin's fists quickly danced. He hit Zhe Yuan's body with a set of fist technique, causing Zhe Yuan's face to be filled with pain. Blood crazily flowed out of his nose. A large amount of water on the battle platform was suddenly taken back by Zhe Yuan. Zhe Yuan released a large amount of immortal king power from his body and condensed it into water, so his body is extremely empty. Qin Finshin seized the opportunity to beat Zhe Yuan up. Qin Yun said with a smile. Everyone secretly nodded. Zhe Yuan did not expect that Qin Finshin could release such strong flame in the water. This is truly too miraculous. I concede. Zhe Yuan can no longer stand up. If this continues, he will be crippled. Qin Yun looked at the black-masked Princess Anya and said with proud smile, "I won. Where are your Emperor Essence heavenly pills? You have some skills." Princess Dark Knight took out 2 white pills and shot them from a distance through her fingers. Qin Yun extended his hand and grabbed the 2 Emperor Essence heavenly pills and handed them over to Xiao Yuelon. After Princess Anya saw this, she groaned in a very bad mood, because Qin Yun actually gave the precious Emperor Essence heavenly pills to the woman beside him. Moreover, that woman is also wearing a mask. There are not many people who know that Xiao Yuelon joined an imperial clan. Back then, during the ceremony, only a few elders were present. Qin Fenshin won. He very happily walked down and said with smile, "Many thanks, big brother, for the pointers. Fenshin, if you meet people who use water to restrain you in the future, just go ahead and ruthlessly beat them up." Qin Yun said with smile, "As expected of my master, truly awesome." Just now Qin Fenshin was knocked down in 3 moves. Now he's screaming like a pig being butchered. Su Xiaoba laughed loudly and patted Qin Yun's shoulder. Speaking of butchering pigs, Pippi Pig, who has turned into a little pig and is being hugged by others, feels a bit scared. Princess Anya is very unhappy. She is wearing a mask, and her eyes are not visible, but everyone can see that she is currently glaring at Qin Yun and gritting her teeth. On a tall pagoda inside the Imperial Clan Divine Palace, Elder Qin is also looking at the battle stage and said with smile, "This Qin Yun is truly skilled. How did he guide Fenshin? He actually made Fenshin so strong in a short while." Elder Qi said with frown, "I suspect that Qin Yun used runes. Formidable inscription masters can carve runes into people's body and make them perfectly fuse with flesh and bones, as if they were born with it. Is this possible?" After Fenshin was defeated, he went to find Qin Yun and brought him out. Qin Yun did not have time to carve runes for Fenshin. To carve runes into flesh and bones, it will take a very long time. Elder Qin doubtfully said, "Let's go ask him." Elder Qi said with smile. On the battle stage, a square-faced middle-aged man walked towards Qin Yun. His expression is filled with arrogance. "Qin Yun, Qin Fenshin, who received pointers from you, is indeed very formidable. You are now 2nd level Immortal King. Do you dare to fight with me? I am also 2nd level Immortal King. I came from the Immortal King ancient city I cultivated in Sacred Desolate before. I heard that you cultivated a very strong sacred body. I want to experience it." An Immortal King from Sacred Desolate. Because he cultivated in Sacred Desolate, he must have cultivated a very strong sacred soul, sacred body. The cultivation technique he used is also very strong. Chapter 17:10. Heavenly pills obtained an Immortal King from the Immortal King ancient city and born in the Sacred Desolate. He must have some good things in his hands. Although Su Xiaoba is rather arrogant, he is very restrained in front of Qin Yun. Now he is also fishing for some things for Qin Yun. Others might not know, but Su Xiaoba is very clear about how terrifying Qin Yun is. "Forget about fighting. I'm too lazy to fight. Fighting and killing all day is very tiring. Besides, I'm an inscription master. I don't like fighting." Qin Yun shook his head and sighed. You must be afraid." The square-faced middle-aged man from the Immortal King ancient city sneered. "Although I, Zhou Lei, am not the strongest Immortal King in the Immortal King ancient city, I am still one of the best among the 2nd level Immortal Kings. Even a 3rd level Immortal King would not be able to defeat me that easily. It's normal for you to be afraid of me." Su Xiaoba mocked. "My master is afraid that you are too poor to gamble." Zhou Lei laughed loudly. "I come from the Sacred Desolate. Any piece of trash in the Sacred Desolate can make you people from the Immortal Desolate bleed. How could I be poor? Those who think I'm poor are mostly brainless fellows." "Bastard, do you believe that I won't beat you to death?" Su Xiaoba snorted angrily. If I had your cultivation, I would be able to kick an arrogant guy like you to death with 2 kicks. I don't know how many arrogant brats like you have been kicked to death by me in the Sacred Desolate." Zhou Lei laughed loudly. Murong Darren said, "Brother Yin has something like a sun soul. Why would he take a fancy to your Sacred Desolate's trash? Stop bragging." Zhou Lei snorted. "Who doesn't know that Qin Yun's sun soul is in a half-dead state and can't be used for a long time. What's there to be smug about? As he spoke, he took out a red saber and said, "This saber of mine is ranked in the top 100 sacred sabers in the sacred desolate. Qin Yun, if you defeat me, this saber will be yours. If you lose, give me those 2 Heavenly Emperor Essence pills." Zhou Lei's goal is still the 2 Heavenly Emperor Essence pills. Zhou Lei raised the domineering blood-colored sacred saber in his hand, and the people nearby immediately retreated. This was because that saber truly gave off a very powerful pressure. Normally, only a saber that had gone through hundreds of battles and killed countless people would have this kind of pressure. Seeing that blade, even Su Xiaoba is speechless because he also believes that this blade is very strong. "Master, accept the challenge and get rid of this guy," Su Xiaoba said in low voice. "With your strength, you can deal with him within 10 moves. Qin Yin, come out and fight. This saber is more valuable than those 2 Dun heavenly pills." Princess and Yi also shouted, "This is a rare, sacred tool. Your son's soul can't be used often. You should have a good sacred tool." Princess and Yi also hoped that Qin Yun could fight. This way, she could see Qin Yun's cultivation. That's why she praised the saber as very strong. Qin Yun, who had been silent all this while, shook his head and said, "This saber is too inferior. I don't like it." The crowd burst into an uproar. Everyone knew that Qin Yun had a sun soul, so it was normal for him to have high standards. However, this saber was a ranked sacred artifact in the sacred desolate land. Zhou Lei laughed loudly and said, "Qin Yun, I can tell with a glance that you don't dare to fight. That's why you said that. Forget it. After all, you can only rely on external objects to be strong. I can understand that you're not good at fighting barehanded in an open and above-board battle. First of all, I don't lack good weapons. Secondly, this saber of yours is really bad. What sacred, desolate, ranked sacred saber? I don't believe in this kind of thing," Qin Yun said with a sneer. "Ridiculous. The sun soul, transformed into a divine weapon, is indeed powerful, and the strongest under the sun soul is only a sacred tool. You have a good weapon in your hand. How good can it be? What kind of good weapon can you get in the immortal desolate?" Zhou Lei said with a disdainful smile. "Everyone knows that there are so many resources in the sacred desolate to be able to create powerful sacred tools." Xiao Yuelon took out a slender red saber and said in a hoarse voice, "Let's exchange blows." Her saber carried a faint killing intent. Only Qin Yun could sense that the killing intent was being suppressed by Xiao Yuelon with all her might. "Come at me." Zhou Lei raised the huge and mighty red saber in his hand. In contrast, Xiao Yuelon's saber was extremely weak. Everyone was also curious as to who the woman beside Qin Yun was. She seemed to have some strength. Qin Yun knew that Xiao Yuelon was confident, so he did not say anything. Princess Anya also approached. Everyone looked at Xiao Yuelon and Zhou Lei. After the beginning, Zhou Lei and Xiao Yuelon attacked at the same time. Clang! The 2 sabers collided, and the resulting shock waves were not small. When the blades collided, a red light flashed. After the red light disappeared, everyone was somewhat shocked. A large dent appeared on the blade of Zhou Lei's saber, but Xiao Yuelon's saber was completely fine. Qin Yun shook his head and said with a smile, "I told you, your saber is very weak." Xiao Yuelon kept her saber and returned to Qin Yun's side. Zhou Lei stood there in a daze. He was both angry and heartbroken. That was his weapon, and it was actually broken by a woman's weapon. Now, everyone felt that Zhou Lei was bragging before. Just now, he was talking about how powerful his saber was, but now it was broken by a woman's saber, causing many people to mock him. "Go home and kill pigs. Your saber is not suitable for fighting." Su Xiaoba mocked and laughed loudly. Zhou Lei was so angry that he wanted to hit someone, but he did not dare. He did not expect that there would be so many good weapons in the immortal desolate. At this moment, a white-clothed old man walked out of the Emperor Race Divine Palace. The white-clothed old man laughed and said, "Qin Yun, the immortal kings of my immortal king ancient city are not weak. With the same cultivation level, If it was a human, not many would be able to defeat the immortal kings of the immortal king ancient city. Aren't you being too absolute? Qin Yun looked at the white-clothed old man. Dozens of immortal kings from the immortal king ancient city immediately walked over and respectfully shouted, "Greetings, city lord." The white-clothed old man is the immortal king ancient city's city lord. I dare say that you can't defeat Zhou Lei. I watched Zhou Lei grow up. I'm very clear about his level. The immortal king city lord faintly smiled. I am talking about fighting without using weapons. Su Xiaoba said, "Old man, don't talk nonsense. Take out 2 Emperor Essence heavenly pills, and my master will immediately fight with that Zhou Lei. If you are so confident, just take out the Emperor Essence heavenly pills. What's the use of talking so much? Just fight and you will know." Immortal King Ancient City's people angrily looked at Su Xiaoba. A young man shouted, "Why do you need to take out something to fight with Qin Yun? What give him the right to fight? Who does he think he is? Isn't it you bunch of idiots who want to fight with my master? Who is my master? My master is Qin Yun, whose name shakes the entire immortal desolate. Any random cat or dog comes to challenge my master, and he has to accept the challenge." Su Xiaoba said with sneer. Princess Anya said, "To challenge a famous expert, one must pay a little price. Otherwise, defeating some weaklings would just be a waste of strength. If it were me, I would also not fight. Isn't it just 2 Emperor Essence heavenly pills? We can afford it." Immortal King City Master said with smile, "Zhou Lei, defeat Qin Yun. I will give you 2 Emperor Essence heavenly pills. Come, let all the great powers of Immortal Desolate see how powerful our Immortal King Ancient City is." The Immortal Kings of the Immortal King Ancient City are very strong, because there are Dark Royal Race and Imperial Race Immortal Kings present. Even some Dragon Warriors acknowledge the strength of the Immortal Kings of the Immortal King Ancient City. The reason why the Immortal King Ancient City is holding the Immortal King ranking is because their Immortal Kings have a certain level of strength. When Qin Yun thought about how he is preparing to obtain 2 Emperor Essence heavenly pills, he immediately jumped onto the large battle stage. Yuelon and I will consume 4 Emperor Essence heavenly pills and cultivate together. We should be able to step into the 3rd level of Immortal King Realm. Moreover, we should be close to the 4th level of Immortal King Realm. Wonderful, Qin Yun said in his heart. Zhou Lei also got onto the battle stage. His face is filled with arrogance, as if he can defeat Qin Yun at any time. But in his heart, there is even more anger because his saber was broken by someone beside Qin Yun. Everyone will be able to personally see how strong Qin Yun is today. According to legend, Qin Yun doesn't need to rely on weapons. His strength is still very strong. Really, many people have seen him fight on the battle stage. His strength is very strong. That is definitely nonsense. I have never heard of an inscription master with very strong battle strength. Zhou Lei untied his clothes and revealed his explosive muscles. He yelled, "What famous shakes the immortal desolate? In my eyes, it is all bullshit. You should properly hide and fiddle with your runes. A weak chicken like you is not suitable for the battle stage." Su Xiaoba yelled, "Master, beat that guy until his teeth fall all over the ground." The immortal King City Master suddenly yelled, "Begin." After the battle began, Qin Yun immediately disappeared. Zhou Lei is stunned. He hastily released formidable mental power to investigate all around. Voila! A large amount of lightning suddenly shot out from a distant place. This is the lightning released by Qin Yun's lightning lock sacred pupil. A large amount of lightning jumped around on the battle stage, rushed towards Zhou Lei, and wrapped around his body. The lightning is like a chain. It locked Zhou Lei up, making him unable to move. Qin Yun, who disappeared, suddenly appeared in front of Zhou Lei and chopped down with his palm like a wild saber. Boom! A violent vibration burst out, as if the sky is shaking, majestically pressed down and enveloped Zhou Lei's body. This is Heaven Extermination 9 style, Heaven Shaking. After Zhou Lei, who is wrapped in lightning, was hit by the palm, his body immediately split open. He screamed again and again. Blood flowed from his 7 apertures. He howled and rolled on the ground. I admit defeat. Zhou Lei sensed the ferocious aura condensing on Qin Yun's body and shouted in alarm. This is Qin Yun's strength without relying on weapons. It caused everyone to be stunned. Zhou Lei cultivated sacred spirit's sacred body, but he was actually unable to withstand a single blow from Qin Yun. In other words, Qin Yun's strength is extremely terrifying within the same level, because Qin Yun did not even use his full strength to defeat Zhou Lei. Qin Yun did not use his full strength, but he also knows that Zhou Lei's injury is not serious. It is just that his body is in pain. If not for Zhou Lei's powerful sacred body, other people would have been smashed to pieces by that palm. Chapter 17:11. Unusual bloodline. The immortal King City Master's expression is somewhat unsightly, but he has no choice but to smile and say, Qin Yun's reputation is indeed well-deserved. Awesome, awesome. Qin Yun walked down the stage, took the 2 Emperor Essence heavenly pills, and handed them over to Xiao Yuelon. The matter of him being able to carve dragon transformation runes is no longer a secret, and carving dragon transformation runes is something that many inscription masters find difficult to accomplish. It requires many years of painstaking study to master. However, Qin Yun is able to carve it, and his battle prowess is so formidable. This caused many people to be extremely puzzled. Under normal circumstances, people who painstakingly study runes would not have time to study battle. However, from Qin Yun's actions just now, it can be seen that his battle prowess is extremely solid. In fact, the majority of people in Immortal Desolate know that Qin Yun is very terrifying in battle. However, the Imperial race, Dark Royal race, and people from Sacred Desolate don't believe it. Even if they saw it with their own eyes, they don't believe it is true. Finchen, let's go, Qin Yun said. He is very satisfied with obtaining 4 Emperor Essence heavenly pills. Now that these people know that he is not weak, they definitely won't dare to use Emperor Essence heavenly pills to gamble again. Princess Anya snorted. She is filled with displeasure because she lost 2 Emperor Essence heavenly pills. Emperor Essence heavenly pills are very precious, especially for immortal kings and immortal emperors. It is something that can allow them to advance by leaps and bounds. Qin Finchen is also very happy because his strength has increased by a lot. He brought Qin Yun into the Imperial race's palace. Not long after they entered, they saw Elder Qin and Elder Qi arrive. Little brother Qin, how did you guide Finchen? How did you make him suddenly become so powerful? Elder Qin directly asked after seeing Qin Yun. I carved runes on Finchen's palms. Qin Yun said with smile. It's not a difficult matter. Elder Qi said with smile. It seems like I guessed correctly. Elder Qin said with frown. This will take a long time, right? No need, it is very easy to do. Qin Yun said with mischievous smile. This. Elder Qin and Elder Qi are very astonished. Big brother Qin, you are truly a very powerful inscription master. Carving runes on human flesh and bones, this is something only a very high-level inscription master can do. Qin Finchen said, you guys continue shopping, we'll go back first. Elder Qin said. Qin Finchen brought Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon to continue touring the Imperial Race Divine Palace. Then he told them the stories and legends of the Imperial Race Divine Palace. The places they visited were not forbidden areas, so they could see some people walking around on the road. Suddenly, Shimen Dazhuang caught up with Pippi Pig in his arms. After Shimen Dazhuang saw Qin Yun, he said with a smile, Boss, did you forget something? Didn't you order me to do something? Qin Yun told Shimen Dazhuang to find the dragon. He also wanted to ask, but he felt that Shimen Dazhuang would not be able to see the dragon. I don't think you have made any progress, so I didn't ask you. Qin Yun said with smile. Boss uncle, why are you looking down on me so much? Shimen Dazhuang said with dissatisfaction. I have made some progress. What progress? asked Qin Yun with a smile. What about what you promised me? Did you bring Qinglian over? Shimin Dazhuang asked. Well, not yet. The Magic Mirrors Formation Foundation is ready. It will be very easy to contact Qinglian, Qin Yun said with a smile. I will look for her when the time comes. Shimin Dazhuang is very happy to know that the magic mirror is about to be completed. Shimin Dazhuang said, I saw that dragon. It's a woman. You are indeed worthy of being boss. That dragon girl you told me to find, her chest is very big. Boss is boss. He actually knows that kind of dragon girl. Qin Finshan is somewhat astonished hearing this from his side. Qin Yun actually knows Dragon Manor's dragon girl. What did you say to her? Qin Yun asked. She said she doesn't want to see you. She said she hates you. Boss, don't be discouraged. She is a woman. Just coax her a bit. Coax her back after a period of time. Shimin Dazhuang said with a smile. I can only do so much. Qin Yun said with frown. She hates me? Xiao Yuelan said with smile. Xiao Yun, this dragon girl must have a lot of stories. It seems like you have to think of a way to meet her. Scarlet Sun Dragon Mother went to find that dragon girl, but there is no news. Forget it. Qin Yun sighed. He has no way to deal with that dragon because he can't enter the Dragon Manor. All right, I will go to the platform at the gate. That Brother Batian and Murong Sharon are pretty good. I got along well with them. I will think of a way to swindle them. Shimin Dazhuang finished speaking, then ran away with Pippi Pig. Only Shimin Dazhuang can do such a thing. Qin Yun is not worried that Murong Darren and Su Xiaoba will be swindled. These two guys are very crafty. Maybe it will be Shimin Dazhuang who will be swindled. It is evening. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan have been strolling around the Emperor Race Divine Palace for a long time. They have a general understanding of the Emperor Race Divine Palace. What they are most concerned about is how to absorb Emperor Mountain's energy. Qin Finshan also said that to absorb Emperor Mountain's energy, they must first cultivate the Emperor Race's cultivation technique and then obtain the Emperor Mountain's approval. The Emperor Race Divine Palace is built on top of a huge Emperor Mountain rock. It contains almost limitless Emperor Mountain's energy. Absorbing that energy can allow one to become stronger faster and increase one's cultivation very quickly. However, not everyone can absorb that kind of energy. Generally speaking, one needs to stay inside the Emperor Race Divine Palace for a period of time to sense a trace of Emperor Mountain's energy and then quickly absorb it. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan are anxious to become stronger. Only this way can they obtain a large amount of Emperor Essence Heavenly Pills even faster. They return to the small garden. It is already dark. They did not stay in that small building. Instead, they stayed inside the floating cloud pagoda. This way it will be relatively safe. Xiao Yun, what do you think of that Princess Anya? Xiao Yuelan took off her mask, took off her clothes, and walked into a bath. She said with an angry smile, Quickly come down, let's take a bath together, and then eat the Emperor Essence Heavenly Pill. Qin Yun laughed mischievously and also entered the bath. Inside the warm bath, he hugged an absolutely beautiful woman who is as beautiful as jade. Princess Anya must hate me. Her Emperor Essence Heavenly Pill was obtained by me, and I even gave it to you. Qin Yun said with a smile. We will be able to reach her realm very soon. If she also participates in the Immortal King ranking battle, I will definitely be able to defeat her. Xiao Yuelan said. It's hard to say. She might also be able to break through very quickly. Qin Yun said. The reason she entered the Emperor Race Divine Palace is probably to absorb Emperor Mountain's energy. Xiao Yuelan said with frown. Then how can we absorb Emperor Mountain's energy? Must we cultivate Emperor Race's cultivation technique? Qin Yun kissed Xiao Yuelan's face, hugged her, and said with smile, When we tested the bloodline crystal, it turned black. Do you remember? Little Finshan also said that absorbing Emperor Mountain's energy is related to the purity of one's bloodline. Xiao Yuelan lightly groaned and said, Why didn't they tell us what the black bloodline crystal means? Qin Yun said with smile, Don't worry about this. Xiao Yuelan looked at Qin Yun and said with charming smile, And then let's kiss. Ling Yun said excitedly, I also want to kiss. You guys hurry up and get down to business. Quickly cultivate together. Come play with me. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon each ate 2 Emperor Essence heavenly pills, and then the two of them began cultivating together in the bath. After fusing with the mental space, they also saw the very excited Ling Yun Er. Ling Yun can sense many things through Qin Yun. After all, her mind is fused with Qin Yun's. Yuelon, after the 3rd level of Sun and Moon Heart Sutra, is there a 4th level? Ling Yun'er asked. Why are you asking this? Xiao Yuelon said with smile, then rubbed Ling Yun'er's face. I'm curious. Ling Yun'er said with smile. Yes, but I won't tell you. Xiao Yuelon said with a mischievous smile. Qin Yun began practicing his martial arts on the side. Xiao Yuelon said with smile. Xiao Yun, you are so diligent. Whenever you have time, you start practicing. Ling Yun'er said. The martial arts cultivation technique he is learning is something that Big Sister Yang worked very hard to help him organize. If he learns it well, the next time he sees Big Sister Yang, he will be able to display it once. My beautiful Big Sister Yang, knowing that Xiao Yun is working so hard, she will definitely be very happy. Xiao Yuelon said with smile. Xiao Yun, cultivate well. Leave the matter of refining the Emperor Essence heavenly pill to me. During the day, Qin Yun also asked Qin Fenshin why the immortal King City Master and Princess Anya have the Emperor Essence heavenly pill. Qin Fenshin said that the immortal King Ancient City's construction material is Emperor Mountain Stone. Therefore, the Emperor Mountain Stone of the immortal King Ancient City can condense Emperor Essence heavenly pill. And Princess Anya came from the Dark Desolate. In the Dark Desolate, there's also Emperor Mountain Stone. The Emperor Essence heavenly pill is condensed from Emperor Mountain Stone. The process of Pill God is very strange. Now that Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon are cultivating together, they can better feel the benefits of the Emperor Essence heavenly pill. One day passed. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon both broke through. They're already at the 3rd level of Immortal King Realm. The two of them woke up from their cultivation and are still in the bath. Breaking through cultivation is a very happy thing, so they are very sweet and affectionate. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon are now only hoping that the Immortal King ranking list will quickly begin. Their joint cultivation can bring out the greatest effect of the Emperor Essence heavenly pill. Even if they don't obtain many Emperor Essence heavenly pills, it will still greatly benefit them. They put on their clothes and walked out of the floating cloud pagoda. They arrived at the small building to see if anyone is waiting for them. What surprised them is that as soon as they arrived at the small building, they saw a beautiful and dignified woman sitting on a chair, lightly sipping tea. Aunt, Xiao Yuelon shouted. Xiao Xianqin arrived. She's wearing a white dress. Her beautiful oval face is filled with a gentle and beautiful smile. Yuelon, Xiao Yun. Xiao Xianqin put down her teacup. With a gentle and enchanting smile on her face, she stood up and walked over. Aunt Xiao, where's little Malian? Didn't she come? Qin Yun asked. She's here. She's with Yueme. Xiao Xianqin smiled gently and said, That little girl Yueme is pulling little Malian and not letting go. She wants little Malian to play with her. Then what about Xiao Feng and Yinying? Are they also being pulled by Yueme? Xiao Yuelon held Xiao Xianqin's arm and walked to a chair, letting her sit down. Chapter 17:12. The storm arrives. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon had already guessed that Qi Malian's bloodline would definitely be extraordinary. However, they never expected that Yuan Yinying, Xiao Xianqin, and Long Xiaofeng would also be extraordinary. What kind of phenomenon happened during little Malian's bloodline test? Xiao Yuelon asked. The bloodline crystal is black, Xiao Xianqin said. Those people didn't tell us what the black bloodline crystal represents. Xiao Yuelon and Qin Yun looked at each other. This was what they had expected. We also have black bloodline crystals, Qin Yun said with a frown. This is even more proof that they possess the immortal graveyard diagram. That's why the bloodline crystal turned black during the bloodline test. Xiao Yuelon asked again, Aunt, what about the results of your test? I am the same as Yueme. My bloodline crystal shines with a very strong red light. Yinying's red light is also very strong. She possesses a very pure Yuan imperial clan bloodline. Xiao Xianqin said, but Xiaofeng is different. After she dripped her blood on the bloodline crystal, the illusory image of a dragon and phoenix appeared inside. Then, the light is golden red. Dragon and phoenix? This is indeed a phenomenon. Elder Qin and the others are really something. You guys came, and yet you didn't let us see the process of the bloodline test. Qin Yun is very astonished. After Xiaofeng's situation happened, she was immediately sent to that Dragon Manor. In short, those 4 elders said that Dragon Manor will definitely nurture Xiaofeng as a key disciple. Xiao Xianqin said with a smile, and I am now the same as Yuan. I will be heavily nurtured by the Xiao imperial clan. Xiao Yuelon said, where's Yinying? She's the only one in the Yuan imperial clan. Isn't it very boring? That elder Yuan promised me that he wouldn't restrict Yinying. We can meet often. Yinying is now going to the Yuan imperial clan's Yuan Manor to receive all kinds of inheritances. Xiao Xianqin said with a light smile, I was going to receive the inheritance, but I want to see you guys first. Qin Yun said, and Xiao, try your best to inquire about the black bloodline crystal in Xiao Manor. Xiao Xianqin nodded and said, got it. I will bring little Male Yin and Yinying to see you in a while. These 2 girls haven't seen you for many years. All right. Qin Yun nodded and smiled. All right, I'll return to Xiao Manor first. Xiao Xianqin stood up and walked towards the door. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon also sent her away from Qin Manor. On the way back, Xiao Yuelon smiled and said, Xiao Yun, I should have let you and Aunt be alone. Qin Yun frowned and said, alone? What are you talking about? Although you call her Aunt Xiao, you and her previous life Yue Qin have a very good relationship. Xiao Yuelon smiled and said, don't look at Aunt like this. I know very well what she is thinking in her heart. Qin Yun pinched her face and curled his lips. Yuelon, don't talk nonsense about your aunt. Xiao Yuelon said with a smile. Xiao Yun, you've interacted with Aunt before. You know her better than me. You're still saying that I'm spouting nonsense. Xiao Yuelon pulled Qin Yun and ran back to the small building. They were waiting for Qin Feng to come over. Xiaofeng went to Dragon Manor. I wonder if she'll be able to come out often in the future. Qin Yun said, Xiao Yun, I feel that the purity of the imperial clan bloodline has a lot to do with the martial spirit and soul. It doesn't have much to do with the blood in the body. Xiao Yuelon sat at a table, picked up a fruit, and started eating. Qin Yun nodded. I think so too. Could it be that the inheritance of the imperial clan bloodline is mainly the inheritance of the soul and martial spirit? Xiao Yun, my martial spirit and yours both have black martial spirit. This is not a coincidence. Xiao Yuelon said, that immortal graveyard diagram is very mysterious. When I was with Master, Big Sister, and Sister Karu, I tried to coax and pester them, but they refused to tell me more. Really? You guys pestered them, but you didn't get anything out of them? Qin Yun is somewhat astonished. He thought that Xiao Yuelon knew many secrets about the immortal graveyard diagram. Of course, it's too hateful, especially Big Sister Master. She clearly knows a lot of things, but she refuses to say anything. Xiao Yuelon puffed up her face and pretended to be angry. Xiao Yun, when you take her in, maybe she will tell you. Qin Yun slightly frowned. Yuelon, why do you always have this kind of thinking? She is your master's big sister. Xiao Yuelon stuck out her tongue and said with a smile, in your past life, you knew Master and Big Sister very early on, and then you met us. At that time, you had us running around in circles. Qin Yun spread his hands and said helplessly, my past life is my past life. Oh, that's right. Xiaofeng was not born in the border area. Why is her imperial clan bloodline so strange? Xiao Yuelon said, I only heard that you once helped her find her phoenix martial spirit and even carved many totem runes inside her martial spirit. Qin Yun nodded and said, it's indeed like that. Could it be related to this? It doesn't matter. Xiaofeng is ours anyway. No matter how strong she becomes, she will always be ours. Xiao Yuelan said with charming smile. Every day, Qin Fen would come to the small building to sit for a while. If he didn't see Qin Yun, he would leave. He came again today. Qin Fen looked refreshed as he walked in with a happy smile on his face. When he saw Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan, he greeted them politely. Fenshin, are you sure about the Immortal King ranking? Xiao Yuelan asked. She can't wait to participate. It's confirmed. I'm going to the Immortal King ancient city to participate. Qin Fenshin smiled and said, I'm also signing up. Qin Yun asked, what are the specific rules? There were so many Immortal Kings. How were they supposed to fight? How is this ranking calculated? I don't know the specifics. In short, the Immortal King board will not give out so many to UN heavenly pills for nothing. They will definitely make the Immortal King pay something, Qin Fenshin said. That's right. After all, the origin heavenly pills don't fall from the sky. Xiao Yuelan said with a smile. Those great powers, even if they don't earn, they won't lose. The ancient city of the Immortal King would fly over, so when the time came, the people of the Emperor clans and Darkness Royal clans wouldn't need to run too far. The Immortal King board also allowed the Immortal Kings of the major sects and families to participate. Qin Fenshin came to inform Qin Yun and others about the Immortal King board and then left. Just as Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan entered the floating cloud pagoda, Qin Fenshin returned. This time he brought a woman with him. That woman is tall and slender. She is wearing a pure and holy white skirt. Her temperament is cold and arrogant. Her absolutely beautiful face is covered by a veil. Her pair of bright eyes flickered with bone-penetrating cold air. Xian Rujing has arrived. Qin Yun can sense her ice-cold immortal power inside the floating cloud pagoda. It has a very strong divine power aura. Qin Yun immediately walked out of the floating cloud pagoda and let Qin Fenshin leave. Xian Rujing arrived beside Qin Yun. Her exquisite nose slightly moved. She smelled something, then lightly groaned and said, Yuelan is with you. How come I don't see her? Qin Yun is puzzled. Why are these women's noses so sensitive? They can always smell the body fragrance of other women from his body. Sister Rujing, I am here. I missed you so much. Xiao Yuelan ran out with smile and hugged Xian Rujing. Qin Yun also saw that while hugging Xian Rujing, Xiao Yuelan's hands actually touched Ice Goddess body a few times. She's indeed a female rogue. No wonder Xian Rujing always said that Xiao Yuelan is very bad. Let's go inside and talk. Qin Yun coughed dryly. Xian Rujing said in slight anger, Teacher Qin, look at your wife. You don't care about her. Qin Yun curled his lips and said, Can't you just bite her once? Xian Rujing touched Xiao Yuelan's face with gentle smile and said with smile, How can I bear to bite such a juicy beauty? Then why do you keep biting me? Qin Yun entered the floating cloud pagoda and said in dissatisfaction, That is because the incomparably beautiful ice goddess wants to eat my little husband. Xiao Yuelan said with smile and then arrived at the 20th floor. Xian Rujing grinned, patted Xiao Yuelan's butt and said in low voice, Don't talk nonsense. How can I dare eat your little husband? You are a demon-killing god. You will kill me. Qin Yun curled his lips and said, I'm just a smelly man. What is so delicious about me? Big Sister Ice Goddess, why did you come here to find us? Xiao Yuelan sat beside Xian Rujing and placed her hand on Xian Rujing's thigh. Xian Rujing said, The Emperor Race Shrine is preparing to deal with Solar Storm. Do you know about it? Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan nodded. Elder Qin told us about it, but we don't know the specific situation. Qin Yun said, When Solar Storm appears, many strange phenomena will appear in the 9 desolate Great Earth. As for what kind of strange phenomena, I'm not sure, but I heard that Solar Storm has already swept through the Divine Desolate. Xian Rujing said, So it's like this. Then I will ask Evil God. Qin Yun took out the large golden devil horn and tried to contact Evil God, but failed. Damn it. Don't tell me this guy is in seclusion, he said with frown. Xian Rujing looked at the 18-layer altar and said, Then contact your big sister Star God. Well, my big sister Star God. These words, Just as Qin Yin was about to walk towards the star god altar, he saw a red-clothed beauty with coquettish figure and flirtatious face appear there. Star god is wearing very little. Moreover, she is wearing translucent gauze dress. It is very alluring. Little sister ice goddess, are you jealous? Star god said with charming smile. Demon, restrain yourself a bit. Xiao Yun's wife is here. Xian Rujing lightly groaned and said, Hello, big sister star god. Xiao Yuelan's eyes are shining. She said to star god with smile. She is looking at star god with eyes filled with even more passion than Qin Yun's. Hello, Yuelan. Star god also said with smile. Qin Yun asked, Is solar storm descending on divine desolate? Speaking of this matter, star god immediately became serious. The smile on her face disappeared. Solar storm has descended. Some damned thing has appeared. I heard that before world extermination, there will be chaos. Did not expect that after personally experiencing it, it will be even more chaotic than the legends. What damn thing is it? Qin Yun said with frown. I'm not too clear. In short, after the solar storm appeared, I went into hiding. I only learned from Star God that many dreadful things have appeared in Divine Desolate. You must be careful. Very soon they will appear in Immortal Desolate. Star God said. Xian Rujing asked, Is Guanghan Palace affected? Star God shook her head and said, It is hard to say. But don't worry. Guanghan Palace's barrier became even stronger after I helped them set it up. How long has the solar storm appeared in Divine Desolate? Qin Yun asked. About 3 days. It should be arriving at Immortal Desolate soon. As long as you see the sky covered by golden fog, it means that the solar storm is about to descend. Star God said. Chapter 17:13. Sun Life forms. Hearing Qin Finshan shout, Qin Yun immediately replied, Finshan, I know. You should return first. Qin Finshan hastily returned. He wants to inquire more about the sunstorm. Qin Yun and others are not surprised that the sunstorm is coming because they just learned from Star God that it is coming. Big sister, what is the situation in Divine Desolate? Are Emperor race and Dark Royal race still fighting? Xian Rujing asked. Are you all right? Divine Desolate is temporarily stable. Emperor race and Dark Royal race have finally reached a conclusion. Most abominable thing is that all space channels have been restricted. Star God said. Xian Rujing frequently obtained things from Star God inside Guanghan Palace. If the space channel between Divine Desolate and Immortal Desolate is restricted, it will be very difficult to transport things in the future. What is going on? Is it Space God's doing? Qin Yun asked. The spatial god also has no choice. There are many gods in the divine wasteland who know that I have transformed the 2 sun altars into star god altars. They can all sense that I frequently transport large amounts of things to the immortal wasteland. The star god cursed in a low voice. So that group of bastards, they all complain to the emperor clans. Can we still transport things in the future? Xian Rujing asked. Yes, I can, but not much. During the transportation, the spatial storage artifacts are restricted from passing through the passage. Star God sighed and said, I heard that those 8 9-sun sects are now relying on Emperor Race's side. Emperor Race also listens to their opinion. Star God is being hunted down by several 9-sun sects, especially Dao Yang Divine Sect and Heavenly Mountain Tyrant Sunday. Their sun altars have been dismantled by Qin Yun and turned into Star God altars. Therefore, they hate Star God the most. Then will we be affected if we perform death sacrifice for you? Qin Yun asked. It will not be affected. After all, the rules of altars and God position are not that easy to change. Storm is coming. You should prepare to deal with it. If there is any situation, we will contact you again. Star God said. Big sister, you must be careful. Xian Rujing warned. She is very worried about Star God. I know. I will definitely live and wait for you all to come to Divine Desolate. Star God smiled coquettishly and said, Goodbye. Yuelan, kiss me goodbye. Xiao Yuelan smiled gently and made a kissing gesture. Clang, clang, clang. The Emperor Clan Divine Palace suddenly emitted a melodious bell sound. I will go take a look, Xian Rujing said. Don't wander around for the time being. Don't leave the Emperor Race shrine by any means. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon nodded in response. Xian Rujing left the floating cloud pagoda and headed towards the direction of the bell sound. Thick golden mist floated in the sky, and faint golden light flickered. It was very strange. Qin Yun stood at the top of the floating cloud pagoda and looked at the sky. He frowned and said, "Is this the solar storm? I thought it would be very destructive, but it seems to be quite peaceful." Big Sister Star God said that she would bring some damn things. Could it be that when a solar storm appears, a living being from the sun will descend? Xiao Yuelon said in shock. Many divine sunstones had descended before the sun, which could be considered a type of solar storm. I don't know. In short, there will be something very powerful. Qin Yun looked at the sky. He can no longer see the 3 remaining suns. They are all covered by the golden mist. The entire sky above Immortal Desolate is shrouded by this golden mist. Majority of people don't know what is happening. Even the big shots of the great factions only know about the solar storm from the Emperor Race or Dark Royal Race. As for the specific situation, nobody knows. Qin Yun took out his divine position and contacted Immortal Desolate's Sacred Master. Immortal Desolate's Sacred Master is inside the Emperor Race Shrine. He must know something. Brat Qin, the solar storm is coming. Immortal Desolate's Sacred Master promptly sent voice transmission. I know, I was just about to ask you. What will happen when the solar storm arrives? Qin Yun said. It's hard to say, in short, good and bad. The good thing is that many resources will descend along with the solar storm. The bad thing is that some living beings inside the sun will descend to the Immortal Desolate. I also don't know what it will be. I recuperated in the Great Dragon Desolate domain for several epochs. I don't know what is happening outside. Immortal Desolate's Sacred Master said. The Immortal Desolate's Sacred Master was clearly hiding in the Great Dragon Desolate domain, but he said that he was recuperating inside. This is exactly as Xiao Yuelon guessed. There will be living beings coming down from the sun. Then what are you doing now? Qin Yun asked. We are discussing the matter of joining forces. After the solar storm arrives, many powerful sun creatures might appear. Moreover, outside the sun heavenly domain, there might be some fellows who will take advantage of this to appear. Immortal Desolate's Sacred Master said. Princess Anya is also in the Emperor Race Shrine's main hall. Princess Anya represents the Dark Royal Race. The Dark Royal Race definitely knows a lot of things. Princess Anya discussing this matter with the people from the Imperial Race will be of great help. Qin Yun put away the divine position and said to Xiao Yuelon, It seems like there really are living beings inside the sun. Yuelon, your guess is really accurate. Xiao Yuelon said with smile. It was Xiao Ling who told me. She is a sun elf. She told me about the inside of the sun. That's right. Why didn't I think of you, Xiao Ling? She's a sun elf. Qin Yun slapped his thigh and said with smile. I don't believe that you didn't think of her. Xiao Ling's body is a bit better than mine. Xiao Yuelon bit her lips and snorted. Who said that? Yuelon, your body is much better than hers. No matter how good her body is, I won't randomly look at her body. Qin Yun said with smile. I know you're being honest man. Xiao Yuelon laughed and reached out to touch Qin Yun's cheek. She said, Quickly let you Xiaoling come out. I want you, an honest man, to see how I touch a beautiful elf. Qin Yun let you Xiaoling come out. Yu Xiaoling's voluptuous and tall body is only covered by a few pieces of cloth. Xiaoling, I missed you so much. Xiao Yuelon hugged Yu Xiaoling and kissed her cheek. You have little husband to accompany you. Why do you miss me? Yu Xiaoling's bright eyes flickered. She gently glanced at Qin Yun and said with a charming smile, My good Yuelon, I also miss you. Enough. Hurry up and get down to business. Qin Yun shook his head and said, Xiao Ling, when the solar storm descends, some creatures inside the sun will appear. What will they be? Little husband, kiss my face, and I'll tell you. The charming and flirtatious sun elf smiled mischievously at Qin Yun. Her eyes are filled with charm. They are extremely alluring. Qin Yun can only kiss Yu Xiaoling's fragrant, jade-like cheeks. He secretly praised a few times in his heart. Yu Xiaoling's innate natural body fragrance is simply intoxicating. Qin Yun was almost bewitched to the point of losing his soul. And Xiao Yuelon seems to be infatuated with Yu Xiaoling's natural, intoxicating fragrance. Little husband kissed me again. I'm so happy. Yu Xiaoling's smile is enchanting. Her eyes are filled with affection as she looked at Qin Yun. Her soft and boneless lily-white hands are also gently holding Qin Yun. Xiao Yuelon is hugging Yu Xiaoling's waist. The two women have their arms around each other's shoulders. They look very intimate, and they are also smiling coquettishly. Qin Yun is very anxious and urged, "Quickly tell me." Yu Xiaoling walked to the side and sat on a chair. Then, she coquettishly crossed her pair of snow-white, slender legs. Her actions are very provocative to Qin Yun's every nerve. Qin Yun feels that no matter how firm his willpower is, sooner or later, he will be broken through by these fairies. Xiao Yuelon and Yu Xiaoling are squeezed on that chair. One is hugging the slender waist of the charming fairy and leaning on her shoulder. Her other hand is also touching the arm of the absolutely beautiful fairy. There will be a total of 7 solar storms. This should be the 3rd time, Yu Xiaoling said. The 3rd time, Qin Yun said in shock. If that's the case, then there was one in the Immortal Desolate a long time ago. Xiao Yun, you haven't even come to the Immortal Desolate yet, Xiao Yuelon said. The 2nd time was when the Sun Divine Stone descended. My beautiful Xiaoling also came at that time. After saying that, she kissed Yu Xiaoling's face again and smiled sweetly. Then the 3rd time is now? Qin Yun said with a frown. I thought that after the Sun Divine Stone descended, resources would also descend. Yu Xiaoling said, the previous 2 times were both very light. It was just some movement on the surface of the sun. And this time, it's the movement inside the sun. Then what will there be? Qin Yun asked. Are there any more Sun Divine Stones? It's not Sun Divine Stone, but Sun Divine Crystal. However, there will be relatively few of them. As for the specifics, we'll know when the time comes. Yu Xiaoling said. Xiao Yuelon asked, what kind of creature will appear inside the sun? Yu Xiaoling combed her long golden hair that hung in front of her chest with her fingers and said with a chuckle, the beasts and humans inside the sun might all descend. Qin Yun said in shock, there are humans inside the sun? Yu Xiaoling nodded. Of course there are, and they're not weak either. It's also possible that they won't descend. What are the specific uses of those Sun Divine Crystals? Qin Yun asked. Can they awaken my son's soul? Although he had obtained a core crystal from Princess Anya, he felt that it was not enough. No, the Sun Divine Crystal only contains energy inside. It has no effect on the core. Yu Xiaoling shook her head. Xiaoling, how is the matter of the sun-suppressing divine arrow going? Xiao Yuelon asked. It's almost done. Yu Xiaoling kissed Xiao Yuelon's face and said with a smile, don't worry. I will definitely let our little husband cultivate the sun core as soon as possible. Xiao Yuelon stood up and pulled her, saying with a smile, it's been hard on you, Xiaoling. Qin Yun said, Xiaoling, are you tired from tormenting the sun-suppressing divine arrow? Yu Xiaoling sighed faintly. I'm a bit tired, but it doesn't matter. Who asked you to be my little husband? This time, Qin Yun did not need to call her. He directly went over and kissed Yu Xiaoling's face. Yu Xiaoling is very happy and then entered the 9-sun divine spirit. Xiaoling is so beautiful, as alluring as Big Sister Star God, isn't she? Xiao Yuelon said with a smile. Yes. Qin Yun curled his lips and said, these demonesses, each one is more deadly than the other. Xiao Yuelon said with a smile, there's also Big Sister Master. She's also a peerless soul, seducing demoness. Have you seen her before? Chapter 17:14. Immortal King Ancient City Qin Yun brought Xiao Yuelon to the next level and took out some tools. Xiao Yun, what are you doing? Are you preparing to refine? Xiao Yuan asked. I plan to make some talismans. Qin Yun said. If the sunstorm really brings a large group of powerful beasts, I'm afraid that even the Imperial clan won't be able to hold on. Xiao Yuan said with a frown. Xiao Yun, aren't you underestimating the Imperial race too much? The Imperial clan's dragon manor is still very powerful. We should be very safe in the Imperial clan shrine. Qin Yun shook his head and said, I know that the Imperial race is very strong, but we have to be prepared for both sides. We can't count on the Imperial race divine palace to defend. That's true. You've experienced many dangers over the years. In this aspect, I'm indeed not as thorough as you. Xiao Yuan nodded and said, Our understanding of Imperial clans is not enough. We can't believe that they are reliable just because they are legendary, powerful Imperial clans. Qin Yun said with a smile, Yuan, don't worry. I am here. Hearing Qin Yun's words, Xiao Yuan's heart immediately warmed up. She said with a smile, This reminds me of when I was little. You risked your life to save me and almost fell in a devil dow because of it. Luckily, Sister Kiru was able to suppress your devil nature. I was able to protect you when I was young. I'm very happy when I think about it now. Then he kissed Xiao Yuan's face. He also discovered that her face is even more fragrant because it was kissed by Yu Shaoling earlier. At this time, Qin Yun used the Mother Crystal Core to forge an even stronger talisman paper and talisman tool. He also gave Yu Shaoling more than 10 talisman arrow. All of them were carved with very strong and useful totems, and there was even a storage space inside, which could hold a large amount of holy oil. When needed, she could shoot out a large sea of holy flames with one arrow. Yu Shaoling had a flame sound bow in her hands, and those talisman arrows were also very useful to her. This made her so happy that she shouted out her thanks to her husband. 2 days passed. The Emperor Clan Divine Palace was very peaceful. The sky was still shrouded in a golden, luminous mist. Even at night, the earth was illuminated by that golden, luminous mist. Qin Yun finished refining some talismans and talisman weapons, as well as cannons and arrows. He stopped when he felt that it was about time. The Mother Crystal Core was indeed very useful. It could wake up the 9-Sun Divine Hammer for a very long time, and after the internal energy was exhausted, it could still accumulate energy again. The Mother Crystal Core needed to accumulate a very strong amount of 9 Suns energy. This kind of energy could be replenished by the 9-Sun Divine Spirit absorbing the sacred profound silver crystal. However, the replenishment time was relatively long, and it would take several days to fill up. Qin Yun estimated that he would need over 100 million profound Saint Silver crystals to replenish his energy. Fortunately, he had several billion profound Saint Silver crystals on hand, so he wasn't in a shortage for the time being. If it really wasn't enough, he would go to the Divine Rune Mountain and pluck those sacred profound silver crystal fruits. The mountain god bragged that he could make the sacred mystic silver crystal fruit grow into a sacred mystic gold crystal fruit. Qin didn't know if it was true, but he was looking forward to it. Even though the Emperor Clan Divine Palace and Immortal Desolate were extremely calm, not much happening, everyone was still alarmed. Everyone knew that the solar storm was coming, but the Immortal King board still had to fight. Qin Yun entrusted Qin Fenshin to help him and Xiao Yuan register. They only need to go to the Immortal King Ancient City to get a jade token. Qin Fenshin has been waiting for Qin Yun and Xiao Yuan in the small building since early morning. Big brother and big sister, the Immortal King board ranking battle is about to begin. Qin Fenshin said with a smile, You can go to the Immortal King Ancient City to get your jade token today. What are the rules? Xiao Yuan asked. The rules are rather simple. Qin Fenshin began explaining the rules of the ranking. In the Immortal King Ancient City, there are a total of 5 battle platforms. They are located in the east, south, west, north, and center. First and second level Immortal Kings go to the eastern battle platform. Third and fourth level Immortal Kings go to the southern battle platform. Fifth and sixth level Immortal Kings go to the western battle platform. Seventh and eighth level Immortal Kings go to the northern battle platform. Ninth level Immortal Kings go to the central battle platform. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon are third level Immortal Kings, so they want to go to the southern battle platform. If you want to quickly get on the stage and fight, you need to use Profound Saint Silver Crystals to buy a spot. Whoever has more Profound Saint Silver Crystals will be able to get on the stage as soon as possible. Qin Fenshin said. After getting on the stage, who has the final say on the challenge? Xiao Yuelon asked. Holding an Immortal King Jade token on the stage, it will randomly sense the third or fourth level Immortal Kings near the stage. The sensed Immortal King will have to go on the stage to accept the challenge. If you lose, you will lose 1 point. If you win, you will get 1 point. If you can defeat an Immortal King whose cultivation is higher than yours, you will get 2 points. If you lose to someone whose cultivation is lower than yours, you will also lose 2 points. Qin Fenshin said. Qin Yun said with smile. So the ranking is based on points, right? Qin Fenshin nodded and said, those who are ranked at the top will get Emperor Origin Heavenly Pill every month. As for how many, it has not been announced yet. Qin Yun curled his lips and said, it has not been announced yet. It will definitely happen. When the time comes, we will see. I have seen this kind of trick many times. Xiao Yuelon said with smile. Xiao Yun, if it is based on points, we should be able to quickly fight our way up. Within the same level, Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon are indeed the strongest. Even if their cultivation is higher than theirs, they will still lose. Big brother, I remember that your disciple Brother Batian is a 4th level Immortal King. If you meet him, will you be able to win? Qin Fenshin said. Qin Yun said with smile, I will definitely win against that guy Su Xiaoba. He even boasted that he could beat me with one hand. He is still not certain who will beat who. Xiao Yuelon said, I wonder if Yueme will participate. She will definitely participate. Maybe she is already gone. Qin Yun took out the spirit-chasing talisman and looked at it. He said with smile, my words are very accurate. Isn't she in the direction of the Immortal King Ancient City? Yes. Qin Fenshin said. All right, let's hurry over. Qin Yun said. The solar storm arrived, but it seems like nothing powerful has appeared. Qin Yun feels that the matter is not that simple. The calmer it is, the more serious the situation is. After they flew out of the Emperor Race Divine Palace, they saw a huge city floating beside the heavenly crater. That huge city looks even bigger than the Emperor Race Divine Palace. It is the Immortal King Ancient City. They entered the Immortal King Ancient City, went to a place to get Jade tokens, and then went to the southern battle stage. Oh, that's right. What is Princess Anya's current cultivation level? Xiao Yuelon asked. It seems like she is level 7 Immortal King. When she entered the Dragon Manor, she was only level 6. Qin Fenshin said. Although Princess Anya is being held hostage in the Emperor Race Divine Palace, she can still participate in the Immortal King ranking. What is this woman's goal in sneaking into the Dragon Manor? Qin Yun thought in his heart. If Princess Anya was level 7 Immortal King, she would not have met them and would have gone to another battle stage. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon followed Qin Fenshin to the southern battle stage. The southern battle stage is very big. It is like a super large plaza. There are many huge and majestic pillars erected on it. There are coiling dragon carvings on the pillars. It is very domineering. This kind of formation pillar must be very strong. After all, it is an Immortal King battle stage. If the protection is not enough, no matter how many Immortal King ancient cities there are, it would not be enough to destroy it. After arriving at the battle stage, Qin Yun took out the spirit-chasing talisman and sensed Xiao Yueme. What made him puzzled is that Xiao Yueme is not near the battle stage. Damn it, could it be that this little girl still hasn't broken through? Or is she still a level 1 Immortal King? Qin Yun said with a frown. He turned his body and, after determining the direction, he is somewhat astonished. Because the spirit-chasing talisman is pointing to the west, that is the western battle stage, the battle zone for level 5 or 6 Immortal Kings. Yueme is a level 5 Immortal King. Xiao Yuelon is also very astonished. One must know that she and Qin Yun ate several D-origin heavenly pills and also cultivated the third level of Sun and Moon Heart Sutra together. Yet, they're not as fast as Xiao Yuanmei, Qin Yun said with a smile. Maybe she's just going to take a look. She might not really be a level 5 or 6 immortal king. Xiao Yuan is wearing a mask. She snorted and said, "This won't do. I have to go find this little girl. She might really be a level 5 immortal king. All right, let's see if Aunt Xiao is here or not." Qin Yun looked around and discovered that Xiao Xianqin is also not here. "I'll go find them. Xiao Yun, wait for me here." Xiao Yuan wanted to go over, but was pulled by Qin Yun. "No need to go over." Qin Yun took out a magic mirror and said with a smile, "Use this to contact her." The magic mirror's formation base has not been completed, but within a short distance, Qin Yun's special magic mirror is still very useful. "Yuanmei, are you on the west battle platform?" Qin Yun asked with spirit transmission. "That's right. I'm a level 5 immortal king." "Brother, are you on the south battle platform?" Xiao Yuanmei's voice transmitted into Qin Yun's mind through the magic mirror. How did you break through so quickly?" Qin Yun is extremely astonished. Xiao Yuanmei is 2 levels higher than him and Xiao Yuan. Xiao Yuan saw Qin Yun's astonished expression and realized that her little sister is truly a level 5 immortal king. Xiao Yuanmei said with charming smile, "Grandma Xiao gave us a lot of delicious food. We broke through very quickly. Aunt, sister Ying also broke through." "Fuck, Elder Qin is not kind. He actually did not give us anything good." Qin Yun is secretly envious of Xiao Yuanmei and others. "Oh, that's right. Is Qiaofeng on your side?" Qin Yun asked. "Qiaofeng is even more awesome. She is on the north battle platform, 7th or 8th level immortal king battle zone." Xiao Yuanmei said. "What?" Qin Yun said with frown. "I heard that Qiaofeng is only 2nd or 3rd level immortal king. How did she break through so quickly?" He is thoroughly shocked. Both of them entered the Emperor Race Divine Palace. He and Xiao Yuan only obtained 2D Essence heavenly pills from Elder Qin. The rest were all fought for by himself. Dragon Manor is rich and overbearing. They don't lack that kind of stuff. Qiaofeng is being praised by Dragon Manor to be that imperial dragon princess. Xiao Yuanmei said this with jealousy and envy. "What about little Malian? Do you know her situation?" Qin Yun asked again. "Little Malian? She is also very good. She is with me." Xiao Yuanmei said with smile. "Yining is also with me." Qin Yun shook his head and said with sigh, "There is no justice in this world. I thought me and Yuan are very fast. How come you are even faster than us?" "Brother, let's not talk anymore. I want to go on stage," Xiao Yuanmei said with smile. After Qin Yun informed Xiao Yuan, she became very envious because she also wants to quickly enter 7th or 8th level Immortal King realm and fight against Princess Anya. Chapter 17:15. I really didn't. On the southern battle platform, people have already started fighting. The Immortal King of the ancient city of Immortal King obtained the qualifications to go up on stage. He is a 3rd stage Immortal King. He chose a 4th stage Immortal King as his opponent. After obtaining the qualifications, one can choose a 4th stage Immortal King or a 3rd stage Immortal King as their opponent. This is also the newly changed rules. Previously, one could only choose randomly. This is very unfriendly to ordinary 3rd stage Immortal Kings. The Immortal King of the ancient city of Immortal King's opponent is a 4th stage Immortal King from a small sect in the Immortal Desolate. He looks very old. And the Immortal King of the ancient city of Immortal King looks like a middle-aged man. Although he looks old, he is not necessarily weak. However, if he looks old and doesn't have a powerful aura, then he is most likely a lamp that has run out of oil. The old man from the small sect on the stage looks very weak. Now he is being suppressed by the Immortal King of the ancient city of Immortal King. In just a short while, the old man from the small sect admitted defeat. The Immortal King of the ancient city of Immortal King can defeat opponents with higher cultivation than him and get 2 points. The old man from the small sect originally didn't have any points, so he won't get a negative score. Next, the auction for the qualifications to go up on stage will begin. The immortal king of the ancient city of Immortal King has already gone up once. They need to fight 3 times before they can participate in the auction again. Qin Yun has many sacred mysterious silver crystals. He and Xiao Yuelon can buy the qualifications. The sacred mysterious silver crystals contain sacred power. When Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon cultivated together, they had many sacred mysterious silver crystals beside them. It is very helpful to their cultivation. However, if they have the Emperor Essence Heavenly Pill, then they don't need to consume a large amount of sacred mysterious silver crystals. The energy inside the sacred mysterious silver crystals can only assist in cultivating formidable sacred power. Therefore, during cultivation, the sacred mysterious silver crystals can assist in cultivating the Emperor Essence Heavenly Pill. It is quite useful. The auction began. Everyone started bidding. Each time the minimum increment is 1 gene of sacred mysterious silver crystals. In the Immortal Desolate, sacred mysterious silver crystals are very rare. Most people don't have them. Only imperial clans, dark royal race, and immortal kings from the ancient city have them. As for the other great powers, maybe only the clans from the inscription world have them. Otherwise, even those great powers don't have many sacred mysterious silver crystals. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon secretly observe the bidders. Most of them are from the Dark Royal race and Immortal King ancient city. Then there are the imperial clans. Soon, the price was raised to 100 caddies. Sure enough, the Immortal King board also wanted to earn sage profound silver crystals. Yuelon, who will go up first? Qin Yun asked. You go first. Xiao Yuelon whispered. Qin Yun nodded and joined the bidding. I bid 110. Qin Yun yelled. This amount of sacred Xian silver crystals is nothing to him. This immediately caused a lot of people to be dissatisfied because other people only added 1 or 2 caddies, but he added 10 caddies in one go. This was too much of a bluff. When they looked at the bidder, many of them recognized that it was Qin Yun. After learning that it was Qin Yun, everyone was secretly startled. Everyone knew that Qin Yun was very strong and had many sacred profound silver crystals. The Celestial King role wasn't just a competition of strength, it was also a competition of wealth. Only with enough profound Saint silver crystals could one obtain more opportunities to ascend the stage and obtain more points. Of course, he had to win consecutively. Otherwise, if he lost the right to go on stage, it would be a huge loss. 112. The person who shouted was a youth from the Dark Royal race. 120. Qin Yun said lightly. 122. A young immortal king from the Immortal King ancient city shouted. 130. Qin Yun very calmly increased the price. He has several billion sacred profound silver crystals in his hands. Moreover, the divine inscription mountain can grow unceasingly. 135. The youth from the Dark Royal race shouted. 200. Qin Yun directly increased the price to 200. Everyone let out a burst of exclamation. In the previous bidding, it was only 180, but Qin Yun directly shouted 200. Moreover, he did not feel any heartache at all. 300. The youth from the Dark Royal race clenched his teeth and shouted. Qin Yun, if you have the guts, continue increasing the price. 300. This is very high. The youth from the Dark Royal race firmly believed that Qin Yun would follow up. That is why he kept increasing the price. 400. Qin Yun indeed increased the price. The youth from the Dark Royal race said with sneer, 500. 600. Qin Yun still increased the price. Someone said, Qin Yun obtained 1 billion sacred profound silver crystals as compensation from the immortal Emperor City Master. This guy is overflowing with wealth. Although many people know about this matter, the majority of people from the Dark Royal race and Emperor race do not know about it. Now that someone mentioned it, it caused people to salivate. Qin Yun actually has 1 billion sacred profound silver crystals. He is unparalleled. 1,000. The youth from the Dark Royal race chuckled. Qin Yun, if you have the guts, follow up. 10,000. Qin Yun indifferently said. The surroundings of the huge battle stage immediately became completely silent. The qualification to go up to the stage actually cost more than 10,000 genes of sacred profound silver crystals. 20,000. The youth from the Dark Royal race knows that Qin Yun has 1 billion sacred profound silver crystals. He also knows that Qin Yun will keep increasing the price, so he very calmly raised the price. 50,000. Qin Yun said with smile. Worthy of being the Qin Yun whose name shakes the entire immortal desolate, truly extravagant. The youth from the Dark Royal race laughed loudly. However, in terms of wealth, you can't compare to me. 100,000. The youth from the Dark Royal race continued increasing the price. Everyone is stunned, because this is no longer fighting for the qualification to go up to the stage. This is fighting for face. Youngsters are full of vigor. It must be known that Xie Yang of the Dark Royal race was killed by Qin Yun. Princess Anya even compensated Qin Yun and admitted her wrongs. So even if Qin Yun spoke rudely to Princess Anya, she could not do anything. Therefore, all the youngsters from the Dark Royal race hate Qin Yun very much. 150,000. Qin Yun said with smile. 200,000. The youth from the Dark Royal race also very calmly shouted. Someone said in low voice, the Dark Royal race is truly full of heroic spirit. Qin Yun is going to lose. Indeed, they are from the Dark Royal race, a powerful race that has existed since the first era of Nine Desolate. They have several 100,000 years of inheritance. How can Qin Yun compare to them? In terms of foundation, Qin Yun cannot compare to the Dark Royal race. Everyone discussed in low voice. At this time, Qin Yun did not continue increasing the price. The youth from the Dark Royal race began to panic. He was only deliberately raising the price. He does not have that many sacred profound silver crystals. After all, it is 200,000 genes. Even the young masters of the Dark Royal race are not willing to use so many sacred profound silver crystals to buy the qualification to go up to the stage. Xiao Yuelan, who is beside Qin Yun, laughed in low voice. I lost. Qin Yun cupped his fist towards the youth from the Dark Royal race and said with smile, Brother is very heroic. Please. 200,000 to buy the qualification to go up to the stage. This is simply inhumane. This matter immediately spread throughout the ancient city of Immortal King. Even the ninth heaven Immortal Kings on the central battle stage of the ancient city of Immortal King were greatly shocked by this news. They repeatedly sighed at the wealth of these little demons. The youth from the Dark Royal race stood motionless like a stone statue, sweating profusely. His expression is extremely unsightly. He cursed countless times in his heart. Motherfucker. Because Qin Yun kept following him very straightforwardly, and it seems like he is very concerned about his face. He thought that Qin Yun would keep following him. He did not expect that Qin Yun would suddenly stop following him. This is truly a huge trap for him. Young master, please pay 200,000 sacred profound silver crystals. A middle-aged man said, If you don't pay the sacred profound silver crystals, your qualification will be revoked, and you will never be able to participate in the Immortal King ranking battle again. My body is not good, goodbye. The youth suppressed his ugly and red face and quickly passed through the crowd and walked towards the gate of the ancient city of Immortal King. Wait, leave a jade card. The middle-aged man shouted coldly. The youth also threw the jade card far away and left with shame and indignation. The faces of the Dark Royal race people present are all ashen because that youth just now made them lose face. Many people present ridiculed the youth from the Dark Royal race, and this matter quickly spread throughout the city. After Qin Yun's friends learned of this matter, they shook their heads and laughed. They all know that competing with Qin Yun will not have a good ending. You want to fight me with just this level of skill? Too young. Qin Yun shook his head and laughed. The bidding on the stage also started anew. This time, Qin Yun used 200 gene of sacred profound silver crystals to buy the qualification to go up to the stage. Compared to the previous time, everyone wanted to laugh when they thought about it. And the person in charge of the ancient city of Immortal King also secretly cursed the idiot of the dark royal race. If they had stopped when Qin Yun shouted 150,000, then Qin Yun would definitely have bought it. Qin Yun somewhat awkwardly walked towards the middle-aged man in charge of the auction. Seeing his awkward expression, the middle-aged man said with cold expression, "Qin Yun, don't tell me that you don't even have 200? You should know that if you tease us, you will be disqualified." "This, big brother, I really don't have 200 gene of sacred profound silver crystals," Qin Yun said in low voice. "What?" Everyone is incomparably shocked. If someone else said that they don't have 200, they would definitely believe it, but Qin Yun obtained 1 billion sacred profound silver crystals from the immortal Emperor City Master. Could it be he used the sacred profound silver crystals to attack Xieyong? That's possible. Qin Yun, this fellow, is so poor that it's like jingling bells. No wonder his divine rune mountain is so powerful. It actually consumed so many sacred profound silver crystals. This guy is so poor yet still pretending. He really deserves a beating. That's right. Qin Yun, quickly go home. You don't even have 200. Why are you still pretending? Scram! You are wasting our time. The middle-aged man from the ancient city of Immortal King said with unsightly expression, "Qin Yun, you don't even have 200, then hand over your jade token. You are disqualified." Qin Yun took out a square, sacred profound silver crystal and placed it on the ground, then said with an awkward expression, "Big brother, this is 1 million gene of sacred profound silver crystal. I really don't have 200 gene." The shining square, sacred profound silver crystal immediately blinded everyone's dog eyes. Everyone is immediately tongue-tied. Even the middle-aged man from the ancient city of Immortal King is looking at the big square crystal in a daze. This is a standard 1 million gene of sacred profound silver crystal. Qin Yun really doesn't have small sacred profound silver crystals. Those small sacred profound silver crystals were all used up when he was cultivating with Xiao Yuelon. Chapter 17:16. Zhan Kuolongqin Yin also just realized this problem. He has a lot of sacred Xian silver crystals, so he didn't have any misgivings when bidding. However, after bidding, he realized that he doesn't have a small piece of sacred Xian silver crystal. When he took a bath with Xiao Yuelon, he placed sacred Xian silver crystals in a special immortal pool to absorb the power inside the sacred Xian silver crystal. Small pieces are more suitable to be placed in a narrow pool, so they're all used up. Only big pieces are left. Large pieces of sacred Xian silver crystal have been refined to 1 million gene, square-shaped. Although they don't look very big, they are very heavy. Those people who said Qin Yun is poor, now their eyes are incomparably red. 1 million gene of sacred Xian silver crystal. This is the first time many people have seen it. Everyone here are immortal kings. Many of them came from Sacred Desolate, but this is the first time they have seen so many sacred Xian silver crystals. Even the immortal kings from Imperial Race and Dark Royal Race are looking at the square-shaped sacred Xian silver crystal with wide eyes. Such a small piece of sacred Xian silver crystal is very heavy. The energy inside is also very strong. Even though it is sealed, everyone can still sense a very strong sacred power aura. The middle-aged auctioneer thought that Qin Yun can't afford 200 sacred Xian silver crystals, so his face is cold and unsightly. But after seeing Qin Yun take out 1 million gene of sacred Xian silver crystal, he immediately smiled. So that's how it is. It's understandable. It's understandable. This is indeed not easy to deal with. At this time, a youth hastily walked over and said with smile, "Brother Qin, if you don't have a small piece of sacred Xian silver crystal, I have it. I will help you. I also have it. I will help you." A middle-aged man hastily walked over. "Brother Qin, I am also from Qin Imperial Race. We are family. Use my sacred Xian silver crystal. Use mine, use mine." A large group of people are actually fighting to help Qin Yun take out the sacred Xian silver crystal. Among these people, There are also people from Immortal King Ancient City. And there are people from Imperial Race with several surnames. Qin Yun is a tycoon. He took out 1,000,000 gene of sacred Xian silver crystal, so it is very normal for people to curry favor with him. How can I accept this? Qin Yun said with a smile. I have sacred Xian silver crystal. I can pay myself. Thank you for your kindness. Brother Qin, please don't make things difficult for me. I can't open such a big Saint Profound silver crystal. The middle-aged auctioneer smiled and said, How about this? I'll allow you to owe it to me. You can return it to me when it's convenient for you. I trust you. All right, I'll pay you back as soon as possible. Qin Yun cupped his fists and said with a smile. Then he put away his 500,000 gene sacred profound silver crystal. After Qin Yun obtained the right to go on stage, he also walked onto the stage. Through the jade token in his hand, he began to choose his opponent. On the jade token, there were 2 buttons that could be pressed. By pressing the top button, one would be able to select an immortal king with a higher cultivation than oneself. If he pressed the button below, he would draw someone with the same cultivation level as him. Qin Yun was a 3rd heaven immortal king. With his strength, he could fight evenly with a 4th heaven immortal king. Therefore, he also chose a 4th heaven immortal king to fight. After he pressed the button on the jade token, the barrier of the battle platform would release a wave of energy to sense, and then select the immortal kings around the battle platform. Ring, ring, ring. Suddenly, a burst of crisp sound came from the crowd. It sounded like a bell was violently ringing. Everyone looked towards the direction of the sound. There was a tall and sturdy man dressed in black bee skin clothes. On his hairy palm, the jade tablet was vibrating and making a sound. He was selected by Qin Yun. Isn't that Kueilong? That Qin Yun actually drew a 4th heaven immortal king. Moreover, he also drew our dark royal family's Kueilong. Kueilong is a dark dragon warrior. Haha, Qin Yun is out of luck. Kueilong is really lucky. He actually picked up a bargain. If he goes up and defeats Qin Yun, he'll get a point. The dark royal family's people are discussing in shock. Kueilong has a fierce appearance. His whole body is emitting a threatening dragon aura, bringing along a faint evil aura. Kueilong walked onto the battle platform. An old man came over to check whether his jade token is real or not. After confirming, Kueilong's ferocious face showed a sinister and hateful expression. He put away his jade token and stared at Qin Yun with his deep dark green eyes. Kueilong's eyes, under his thick eyebrows, seemed to be filled with the radiance of death. Anyone who is stared at by him looks like they are about to die. It is very frightening. Qin Yun is actually very calm. It is not that he has never dealt with a dark dragon warrior before. Although he used weapons at that time, he has a certain understanding of the dark royal family's dragons. Dang dang. Suddenly, someone rang a bell. The battle has begun. Xiao Yuelan is calmly watching from below the stage. She is not the least bit worried about Qin Yun because she is very clear about Qin Yun's strength. It has begun. Kueilong's dark green eyes suddenly flickered and turned red, and Kueilong's malevolent muscles suddenly overflowed with dragon scales. Black scales appeared on the puppet's face and head. 2 sharp, curved dragon horns appeared on Kueilong's head. His head also transformed into a dragon head. His dragon horns are rather special. They look like a curved bull's horn, pitch black and emitting a black fiendish aura. Roar! Kueilong roared. His bloodshot eyes shot out 2 red energy mist. At this time, a black and red mixed liquid and energy ball gushed out from his mouth. This guy's power is truly dreadful. Qin Yun promptly dodged, but the energy ball suddenly exploded. The exploded energy ball brought along a kind of blood and bitter fiendish aura. It formed a gale that enveloped Qin Yun. Qin Yun only felt pain in his body. This kind of power is very strange. It is imprisoning his body. Boom! Kueilong suddenly jumped over. He tightly clenched his fists like a sledgehammer and ruthlessly hammered down on Qin Yun's head. Ho! A golden energy barrier suddenly appeared around Qin Yun's body. It is the body-protecting dragon handle barrier. Kueilong's tightly clenched fists ruthlessly smashed the body-protecting dragon handle barrier. With a bang sound, Qin Yun's body-protecting dragon handle barrier shattered. Qin Yun's strength is not weak. The body-protecting dragon handle barrier he released is also very strong. Although it was shattered, the resulting power sent Kuei-Long flying. Kuei-Long did not expect Qin Yun's body-protecting dragon handle barrier to be so strong. Moreover, it is a kind of power he is very familiar with. After all, it is a kind of dragon martial art. After Qin Yun sent Kuei-Long flying, he immediately used his sacred eye and shot out tens of lightning chains to bind Kuei-Long. Kuei-Long let out a loud roar. Everyone's heart palpitated with fear and trepidation. They thought Kuei-Long would hammer Qin Yun to death. They never expected that Kuei-Long would be sent flying by the body-protecting dragon handle barrier and even be bound by Qin Yun's strange lightning chains. Kuei-Long roared. He is doing his utmost to release the formidable power within his body to struggle free from the lightning chains. Seeing Kuei-Long showing signs of struggling, Qin Yun immediately released tree vines to bind Kuei-Long. It must be known that Qin Yun's tree martial spirit has become very strong. The tree vines he released now are also very dreadful, tightly binding Kuei-Long. "Want to beat me up?" Qin Yun sneered in his heart. He flew over, cupped his fists, and made a hammer shape, then smashed down on Kuei-Long's head. Rumble. Heaven Annihilation, 9 forms. Heaven Quake. Berserk Vibration Power, ferocious and full of might, smashed down on Kuei-Long's head with supergravity. The vibration caused the battle stage to slightly tremble. After Kuei-Long's head was smashed, he let out a loud roar. He is in excruciating pain. Again, Qin Yun once again used Heaven Quake and released explosive Absolute Yang Immortal Power. The Absolute Yang Immortal Power contained the Nether Sun's gravity, causing the immortal power to become extremely heavy. Boom! The oppressive sound made people feel the dreadful power contained within. Qin Yun once again hammered Kuei-Long's head. This time, it caused people's hearts to palpitate with fear. One of the horns on Kuei-Long's head was smashed crookedly, causing his head to bleed profusely. Qin Yun's fists smashed fiercely on the dragon scales, but nothing happened to them. Instead, they shattered the dragon scales. Still not admitting defeat, Qin Yun shouted and once again used Heaven Annihilation 9 forms. Heaven Quake. On the third attack, the tall and mighty Kuei-Long's knees bent. His knees fiercely hit the ground, causing the battle stage to let out a loud bang sound. Kuei-Long's head is spinning from the beating. His frightening eyes are spinning. He is unable to concentrate. I admit defeat. Kuei-Long sensed that Qin Yun's body is about to explode with formidable power. He suddenly shouted. Qin Yun immediately withdrew the power that was about to explode from his body. Cries of alarm burst out from all around the battle stage. Qin Yun can actually beat such a powerful dark dragon warrior. Qin Yun's strength is equally dreadful even though he is unarmed. Many people said that Qin Yun doesn't have a weapon and that he is trash if he doesn't rely on the Divine Inscription Mountain. But now that they saw the strength he displayed, they know that he has true ability. Qin Yun also displayed a few moves in front of the Emperor Race Divine Palace's gate, but there were not many people present to see it. Now, many people are at the scene. They also personally witnessed Qin Yun's formidable power. The Dark Royal Race, people gnashed their teeth in hatred. They thought that they could teach Qin Yun a lesson on the Immortal King ranking, but they underestimated Qin Yun's strength. Qin Yun won a battle and obtained 2 points. Next, it was Xiao Yuelan's turn to participate in the auction. She very smoothly bought the qualification to go on stage with 200 sacred mysterious silver crystals. Of course, her sacred mysterious silver crystals are also owed. She doesn't have any in her hands. But everyone knows that this mysterious masked woman is following Qin Yun, so she can owe Qin Yun. After Xiao Yuelan went on stage, the person chosen is from the Immortal King Ancient City. He is a 4th layer Immortal King. Xiao Yuelan is wearing a mask, only revealing a pair of ice-cold, beautiful eyes. As soon as the battle began, her eyes shot out 2 red light beams. Those are her sacred pupils. They can cause very strong mental attacks. The fourth layer, Immortal King from the Immortal King ancient city, was hit by the sudden red light beam. He immediately felt dizzy and stood on the spot, swaying. Xiao Yuelon rushed over and blasted several palm attacks at the Immortal King, causing him to vomit blood and fly to the ground, unable to crawl back up. Chapter 17:17 Sword God Inheritance. Chapter 17:17 Another one who challenged a higher level had won, and it was a very easy victory. The Immortal King of the ancient city is also very puzzled. His strength is not weak at all, and he has cultivated sacred body and sacred spirit. However, his soul was attacked by the opponent, causing mental damage that he cannot recover from in a short period of time. Xiao Yuelon is also a veteran of hundreds of battles. Furthermore, she has the soul and spirit of the god of slaughter in her body. Xiao Yuelon also obtained 2 points. Although she won very easily, both she and Qingyun feel that this is too slow. Not many of these guys are our match. Xiao Yuelon transmitted her voice to Qingyun. It's not difficult at all. Xiao Yuelon has also cultivated sacred spirit's sacred body. Her body also hides a very mysterious and formidable power. At the same level, only Qingyun is her opponent. There must be a trump card among the Imperial race and Dark Royal race. It's just that they didn't come. The geniuses they focus on nurturing shouldn't lack D-origin heavenly pills. That's why they didn't participate in the Immortal King ranking. No, the geniuses they focus on nurturing can quickly reach the 9th level Immortal King realm, or even higher. Xiao Yuelon said, didn't Little Melian, Xiao Feng, and the others obtain a lot of resources and then advance by leaps and bounds? Qingyun nodded. He planned to ask Elder Qin why they didn't get many good things. Xiao Yun, it's boring here. How about we go to the West Battle Platform to take a look? Xiao Yuelon said with smile. The West Battle Platform is for 5th or 6th level Immortal Kings. Xiao Yuemei and the others are all over there. Xiao Yuelon wants to fight against 5th level Immortal Kings. Yuemei, Little Melian, Yinying, and Aunt Xiao are all over there. Let's go greet them. Qingyun shook his head. Let's go take a look. Anyway, we still have to wait a few rounds before we can participate in the auction. Xiao Yuelon said. Not every battle ended as quickly as Qingyun and Xiao Yuelon. If they fought for a long time, everyone would have to wait for a long time. Xiao Yuelon pulled Qingyun towards the West Battle Platform. Yuelon, do you think we can challenge 5th or 6th level Immortal Kings? Qingyun asked Xiao Yuelon. I don't know. That's why I want to go take a look. If the rules don't say it's impossible, then it's possible. Xiao Yuelon smiled and said, should we get a try? Yuemei and the others must be fighting over the qualifications to go on stage. We won't go fight over their positions. Qingyun also wants to give it a try. That's right. Even if we win against 5th or 6th level Immortal Kings, we will at most get 2 points. It's basically useless. It's also very tiring. Xiao Yuelon said. Not long after, they arrived at the western region of the ancient city of Immortal King and arrived at the large western battle platform. The battle on it was very intense. It was a battle between the Dark Dragon Warrior and the Dragon Manor's Dragon Warrior. The people below the stage were unable to take their eyes off it. Qingyun used the soul-chasing talisman to sense the location of Xiao Yuemei and the others. After arriving, he saw that they're all wearing a very fierce tiger head mask. They're standing on the roof of a small house behind a crowd. The few of them were also seriously watching the battle on the stage. They did not notice Qingyun and Xiao Yuelon coming over. Xiao Yuelon tiptoed over and naughtily patted their buttocks. After patting them, she secretly grabbed them. Only she dared to do such a thing. If it was anyone else, they would have been beaten to death long ago. Xiao Xianqin felt someone patting her buttocks. She turned her head and was about to flip out. When she saw Xiao Yuelon, she lightly snorted. Big Sister Yuelon, you're here. Qi Melian said happily when she saw Xiao Yuelon. Qingyun can't see Qi Melian's beautiful and adorable face, but hearing her voice, he also felt very happy. Qin Yun walked over with a smile and held Qi Mei and Yuan Yinying's hands. "Brother, I miss you so much. Brother, I finally met you." Qi Mei and Yuan Yinying couldn't help but throw them into Qin Yun's embrace. Qin Yun also hugged the two women and gently caressed her back. He said with a smile, "You guys don't need to take off your masks. I know you guys are definitely even more beautiful." Everyone was seriously watching the battle on the stage, so they didn't pay much attention to what happened behind them. "Did you all win?" Xiao Yuan said in a low voice. We each won one match," Xiao Yuan said with a smile. "Big brother, big sister, why are you guys so weak? You are actually only 3rd level Immortal King." "Little girl, don't laugh at me," Xiao Yuan said with a light smile and patted Xiao Yuan's little butt. Xiao Xianqin said in low voice, "Xiao Yun, is the qualification on your side expensive?" "At most 200, Qin Yun said. "What? Only 200? Yuan Yinying is very shocked and exclaimed in low voice. "How many here?" Qin Yun asked. 20 to 30,000. Xiao Yuan lightly groaned and said, "If I had known earlier, I wouldn't have broken through so quickly." 5th or 6th level Immortal Kings, if they were a bit younger, they would definitely obtain more resources. Therefore, they would have more sacred mysterious silver crystals and the price would be higher. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuan are secretly delighted because the competition on their battle platform is not that great. "That guy Su Xiaoba is also here. He's in front. I'll go slap his bald head, hee." Xiao Yuan pointed to the front and said, "Don't mess around." Qin Yun promptly pulled her back. "He's afraid of me," Xiao Yuan muttered. "Do whatever you want. I will go to the northern battle stage to see Qiaofeng," Qin Yun said. "Oh, that's right. Boss Xie is on the middle battle stage. Sister Mengzhu will also come later," Xiao Yuan suddenly said. "What? Boss Xie is so abnormal. He is actually a 9th level Immortal King?" Qin Yun's face is filled with shock. He learned that Hong Mengshu is coming and wants to meet this old friend of his. "And I heard Boss Xie obtained Sword God's inheritance," Qi Mei said in low voice. "Awesome. Sword God's inheritance?" Qin Yun is extremely apprehensive. He suddenly suspects that Xie Wufeng has Sword God's divine position. Otherwise, it would be impossible for him to break through so quickly. In the past, his cultivation was higher than Xie Wufeng's by a bit. He was even a bit stronger than Xie Wufeng. But now Xie Wufeng is a 9th level Immortal King. He must have experienced something. "All right, wait for me to see Qiaofeng, then I will go find Boss Xie." Qin Yun nodded and said. He met Murong Darren and Qin Long before, but they never mentioned this matter. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuan left for the northern battle stage. There are not many Immortal Kings on the northern battle stage. After all, there are Immortal Kings with relatively high cultivation, not as many as other Immortal Kings with low cultivation. Therefore, after Qin Yun and Xiao Yuan arrived, they immediately saw Long Qiaofeng standing among the sparse crowd. Long Qiaofeng has a long braid hanging down in front of her chest. Her hands are crossed over her chest. There is a golden red hair ornament on her forehead. Her jade white oval face is slightly cold. Her phoenix eyes are filled with seriousness as she looked at the battle on the stage. She is wearing luxurious red tight-fitting battle clothes, carved with dragon and phoenix patterns. With a glance, one can tell that it is a good thing from Dragon Manor. Qin Yun has not seen Long Qiaofeng for a long time. Now that he sees her again, he almost can't recognize this woman. He and Long Qiaofeng have experienced many things together. He remembers that this woman was very afraid of death at the beginning, but later on, she became very brave and strong. Now, she has finally become a female expert, especially the proud, domineering aura on her body. People can feel it from far away. Long Xiaofeng's figure is extremely good, especially when she is wearing tight-fitting battle clothes. It can outline her curvaceous body. Qin Yun looked at Long Xiaofeng's beautiful face from the side and can't help but recall the things he experienced with Long Xiaofeng. And Xiao Yuan, who is wearing a mask, quietly arrived behind Long Xiaofeng at some unknown time. Then she lightly patted Long Xiaofeng's chest and secretly pinched it. Long Xiaofeng coolly stood there with her arms crossed over her chest. She slightly tilted her head and pursed her lips into a smile. Yuelon, I knew it was you. Seeing the scene, Qin Yin realized that Xiao Yuelon often does this in the Guanghan Palace. Therefore, Long Xiaofeng is also used to it. Xiaofeng, look who's here, Xiao Yuelon said with light smile. Long Xiaofeng turned her head and saw Qin Yin. Her phoenix eyes flickered with tenderness, as well as a kind of happy emotion. She gently smiled. Although we haven't seen each other for a long time, I always feel that you are by my side. You are still so familiar. Qin Yin walked over with a smile and said, You actually make me feel somewhat unfamiliar. Long Xiaofeng shook her head and smiled. Is that so? Yes, you have changed a lot, Qin Yin said. Really? Long Xiaofeng looked at Xiao Yuelon. Her expression is filled with doubt. Why don't I feel that I have changed? Have I changed a lot after I came to Dragon Manor? No, Xiao Yuelon said with a smile. Your breasts are still so perky. Maybe it's been too long, Qin Yin said with a smile. Long Xiaofeng playfully smiled. Maybe, but I feel that you are still the same. Xiao Yuelon looked at the battle stage and said in shock, Isn't that Princess Anya? Long Xiaofeng nodded. It's her. She's my strongest opponent. Qin Yin is rather suspicious of Long Xiaofeng. He asked in low voice, Xiaofeng, did you see Scarlet's Sun Dragon Mother in Dragon Manor? He wants to find that dragon lady. No. Long Xiaofeng shook her head and said, The situation in Dragon Manor is very complicated. I have only been here for a few days. I have not seen many seniors. Qin Yin nodded and no longer asked. Princess Anya is wearing a mask. She is fighting against a dragon warrior from Dragon Manor. Princess Anya is a 7th-stage immortal king. Her opponent is an 8th-stage immortal king dragon warrior. It is very strenuous for her. Long Xiaofeng said. She is pretending to be weak. Qin Yin said. Is that so? Long Xiaofeng looked at the battle stage and doubtfully said, Why can't I see it? Qin Yin used Extinction Spirit Eye and can see that there is a very dreadful energy condensing inside Princess Anya's body. That energy is still growing bigger and bigger. However, Princess Anya is constantly being beaten back by the Dragon Warrior. She is even receiving 2 palm strikes from time to time. This woman is very dreadful. Don't look at how she has been hit several times. She is not even fart injured. Qin Yin curled his lips and said, Look, she is preparing to erupt with a counterattack. Xiaofeng, how did you suddenly break through so quickly? Xiao Yuelon asked. After I entered Dragon Manor, they gave me many cultivation-increasing pills and also bestowed me with very powerful dragon blood. I broke through again and again, Long Xiaofeng said in low voice. Suddenly, a trembling sound burst out from the battle stage. Everyone cried out in alarm. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.